That Arizona sky burning in your eyes. You look at me, babe, I wanna catch on fire. It's buried in my soul, like California gold. You found the light in me that I couldn't find. So when I'm on top and I can't find the words, and every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. But when the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. But lovers in the night, like poets trying to write. We don't know how to rhyme, but then we try. But I don't really know where I wanna go. The part of me that you will never die. So when I'm on top and I can't find the words, and every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. But when the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. I'm all choked up, but I can't find the words. Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. You when you look at me and the whole world fades, I'll always remember us this way.
We are live from Fireman's West, the World Series recap show. Look at the star-studded panel. We have.
I'm
Major
short
slope we're
already.
on. We're on a
and you put me on
major
the end of the slope.
We're on a major
Look what
slope.
I must look like a Smurf right now.
So my father at a restaurant, when the table is shaking, he will get on his hands and knees and
does the
fold a napkin until it's good. Over here,
I put the penny.
the reason we're rushing, and I'm rushing through the intro, is because you're leaving. So
I am cutting out at some point, but you're gonna have a star-studded cast without me. Take your
Nonetheless.
time, Norman.
Okay,
Take
fine.
your time.
With
Wow, he has notes.
four-time champion Zacharias Ashkenazi, Isaac Ashkenazi,
Yes.
with two-time champion Jack Abady, and with one-time champion
I played 4 years.
Sandy
Yes.
Shalom.
Nice.
I'm also only a one-time champion. I played a lot more than 4 years. Guys, what a day we had. Games 3 and 4, July 4th, America's birthday. And another good thing came out of this July 4th. We thought we screwed up the 50th anniversary. Nate B in the middle of the year goes, by the way, this is the 50th anniversary, not next year. You start in 1976.
He's right.
Right, but then America was created 1776,
Ah, 249.
and they're celebrating 250 next year. So
But
we're
I think
celebrating
they just
50.
do the round numbers because the people will never figure it out. But technically, that was the 50th World Series.
Hey, technically, whatever. But bottom line is, next year I need to make hats with 50 on it.
Yeah, we'll make the hats. The hats are fine.
It won't say 51.
Next year I want to do 1
Credit
week.
to Leon Sakal, who could have made the hats this year.
Could have.
Give
Could've got away with
give a guy a
both, and we
half
would've done it
hour's
again
notice.
next year.
He could have got away with both. What a guy, Leon Sakal.
Next year you have to get to work. We need alternate jerseys at least for 1
I
week
agree.
of
I agree.
throwback teams.
Love that.
We did that once.
No.
Well, we said we were going to do it.
1 week I want to have a throwback
Wow.
50th anniversary.
Let's
You're
not
gonna
reveal
be-
too much.
Yeah,
Let's not reveal
I know,
too
but
much.
we need to do it next year. Jamal's Pals versus Peach's Pirates, whatever,
All right.
on field
Love
2.
that.
Okay, guys, World Series was insane. The night before, I was at a restaurant. It was a Thursday night. The skies opened unexpectedly. It poured like I never saw.
Yes, I was texting you, Norman.
And
I
you
said,
s-
what the hell is this? Where did this come from? There was no rain in the forecast.
And it was not just rain, it was crazy amount of rain. I came to the field after dinner and my heart sunk. I said, there's no way we're going to be able to play on this field tomorrow morning.
You thought cancellation.
I was thinking the worst. I was thinking maybe an afternoon game,
Right,
just one
one.
game like that. Ends up, we got here very early. I begged the crowd.
And it's July 4th.
It was July 4th.
Not an easy day to get people out. Not
Right.
a regular Friday.
Correct. I begged the grounds crew and I explained to them, it's only one field. It's not 4 fields. Put it all into this field and then we're done. I lied to the guy and I told him, we're done. We're done with the season today. You don't have to, I won't call you the rest of the year. And sure enough, I didn't lie because we were done. But
Wow.
the game got delayed an hour and very uncharacteristically, we had a lot of fans,
I was
right?
gonna say, it
when
was
the game
great. It was
started.
great
Yeah.
because I was able to get there for the first inning. I was
Mm-hmm.
rushing home anyway. I had my father's beach chair in my car, and my father wanted to be there for first pitch. And I was saying all week, I'm gonna drop it to you. I'm gonna drop it to you, and I didn't drop it.
Right.
So then it's 8:30. I'm rushing to his house with the beach chair from shul, and then I see the text. The game starts at 10.
So you,
Went, got a coffee,
Good.
relaxed. But I was able to get here with my kids for the beginning of game
Yeah.
1, watch the whole game 1, leave for the beginning of game 2, follow on the app, and then I thought I was going to catch the end of game 2. I ended up getting here for the middle of game 2 because game 2 also went extended innings.
yes.
So unbelievable day, unbelievable action. Rewatching it, being here live. I think it was kind of more exciting when I rewatched it. When I was here live, it felt like a lot of dull innings.
That's what I
But
said.
as I'm rewatching it and going through it, there was a lot of tense moments.
Yeah.
And it was such a pressure-filled day that to get the results maybe seemed one-sided, being it was a sweep, but how close was it to being the other way? It was such a great matchup and a great World Series.
So it's funny. Z told me something similar, and I was like, I don't know what game you were watching. Maybe it has something to do with watching 800 feet away from
Yeah.
where the action is. But where I was, my heart was pounding for 4
No
hours
question.
in that game. I couldn't believe the amount of great plays we had in one game, the amount of times we had a man on third, the amount of different guys that came up for the championship.
Yeah.
There were guys that had the championship or a World Series game in game 3, let's say, on their bat. Win a game in the World Series, what we dream about since we were kids. Maybe 7, 8 guys
Wow.
had that oppo.
Wild.
It's
and
crazy.
no one came through.
No one came
No
through.
one came through, and the situation where somebody did hit the very rare walk-off World Series clincher, because it doesn't happen a lot, happened in a situation where you wouldn't expect it to happen. Man on first.
Norman kind of called it.
Yeah.
Watching the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
did.
crazy.
Soul.
He's got to hit the fence. And, he hit the.
Soul's like you're a gap away. I'm like, you're not a gap away.
Yeah,
There's
he
nobody out.
Right.
Nobody out. You're not sending a guy home unless you are 1,000% sure. Meanwhile, he did basically jog home with his hand up. I mean, it was a bomb.
Norman, while we have Sandy, has there ever been, in your recollection, a World Series clinching walk-off hit?
By a catch. Yes.
By a catch. Oh.
And if I gave you 50 guesses, you could never get who the catch was.
Well, it wasn't this catch
Sir,
over
in
here.
a league that's seen Ray Day.
What was the era?
The era was the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Late 90s.
I can't guess. You think I
You
could?
could-
Do I know the guy?
You know
Yes.
the guy.
Zach Indy?
Not Zach
I
Indy.
just know that he was the only catcher I knew from that era besides the obvious ones.
This
Not-
was clearly the 12th guy on the team.
Yes, correct.
Clearly the last
La-
pick on the team.
Last pick on the team. I
Why
don't know
he
about
was
the
batting-
draft. He batted in a spot where he was in a chance to have a walk-off hit
Wow.
in a game. I think it was a game 5, but I can't be 100% sure.
I think it was a game 5. I remember it.
I
It
mean,
was a
there are
game
some
5,
legendary
and it wasn't
catches
a
in
good hit.
this league.
Oh, for
Jackie
sure.
Ezrazolta, Jigga, Ray Day, Zach Gindy,
Dr. Chuck.
Dr. Chuck. I mentioned Elliot Gindy earlier, who won 4 out of 5 World Series,
Wow.
including 3 in a row. It was none of those guys.
But the hit was more similar to Sammy Soroya's hit
Yes,
than
it was not
to
a, it was not a
Yogi's.
Yogi hit, but it was a walk-off hit by none other than Gabe Adis.
Wow.
Wow.
Gabe
I don't know
Adis.
who that is, but
I remember
okay,
Gabe
good,
Adis
good
played.
trivia.
Douglas DeWeck also had a walk-off
World Series winner?
Series winner. I don't think it was a game 5. It was a situation where he just needed a sac fly, I
It
think.
won the series or a
I
game?
believe it won the series.
Oh, wow, I
believe
didn't know
it won
that.
the series. There
error-
aren't many.
The error that
The
you showed
error,
us.
the Victor Zilberman error was
Right.
a walk-off, but there really aren't
That was
many
an
of
out.
these.
That was an out.
That was an out.
Should have been a double
Field
play.
goal.
Been a
Touch
double, almost a
second.
double play.
Right.
You
Not a
can't,
game-winning
it
hit.
actually
You're not gonna
wasn't.
get-
Can't assume the double play, but
But it's fielder's choice. Doesn't
fielder's
get a
choice.
hit
Yeah, it
for
doesn't get a
that.
hit on it, but it was would have been a great double play,
Walk off nonetheless.
and it was a walk off. So it doesn't happen often, and two really unlikely guys to do it in Jake Yogi, and Gabe
If
Avis.
this was your first game, though, coming and watching, Yogi might have been the likely guy. He was hitting everything
I
hard.
told
Every
Roman.
big hit was coming from
Crazy.
him. It was, he had a tremendous season, but a
did.
lot of guys had tremendous seasons. At this stage, at this level, to do it on this day, the best players in the game weren't, it's just a crapshoot. And he had some day where, he had a couple of outs where Shimmy made great catches.
in the
So,
foul
and I think, and he
had
had
a big
one
triple in game one.
and then the big triple in game one, and then the monster hit. So Yogi really had some day, and they will
I
all
was
remember.
in here. I was in here for the walk off at the end, but
How'd you hear about
But-
it? How'd you you just
The chat
no.
was talking about it, right?
Actually, Jack Barnathan was live streaming here
Unbelievable.
on
Yeah.
a blurry phone, and
He's
you just
unreal.
see everyone running around the bases. Was,
Yes.
was
Now that was
insane.
an unsanctioned live stream,
Yes.
and
Yes,
he
the
will
only
be,
blurry
uh,
phones we sanction is Mustafa's blurry phone.
exactly.
That's it.
So Jack will be hearing and has heard
So
from the
we're,
league
we're,
office.
we're
yeah.
jumping ahead a little
Please.
bit, but Yogi, I thought, could have been a potential World Series MVP.
Yes.
It's not to take away from Max, who obviously was extremely
It had to be
deserving.
Max. We were talking
Yes,
about it, and we
yes.
said Yogi was the next guy, maybe, but the way
Elsack
Max.
had a great series too.
Elsack had a nice series,
But
but
everyone had chances where they didn't come through.
Right.
For also,
Right.
Max was just on fire, not giving up
Max
any
was,
runs.
Max was incredible, obviously
best
deserving,
offense.
but Yogi won.
Yeah, he won the biggest
Both
game.
games,
Both games, really.
on
Yeah.
the Friday. Games 3 and Game 4
He
were
did.
one off of
Yeah.
Yogi's bat, and it's got to count for something.
I thought
gotta
if they
be
would have
honest.
if they would have sent Henry with no outs, it looked like he was going to score on Yogi's triple, on the Yogi's
the-
double,
right.
on the game 3.
He would have had
It
two
was no
game-winning-
outs, so they didn't want to send him.
Right.
But and then all of a sudden they make 2 outs at the plate, and they're
Insane.
not going to score. So I think if he gets the 2 game-winning walk-off hits or game-winning RBIs, then maybe he's more in the
But
conversation.
I gotta be honest. The games, as everyone said that was here, were such a blur. You couldn't. They were both extra innings. They were both close.
Yeah.
You couldn't remember what happened in which game. And I totally forgot that Yogi had that huge hit in Game 3. I totally forgot
Crazy.
about it. I wonder if I remembered if I would
I
have said.
thought it would have been Co. I thought you were going to do Co.
It would only be Co. It would- that- it
And
can't
the
not be
battery,
a D.
no,
Yeah, it would have been
nonetheless,
cool
would've
to have
cool.
Co.
Right.
And battery.
And
But
then I asked
obviously-
Zach after. I texted him after. I go, should I announce the code now? And he goes, no, don't announce the code
It's
now.
over
And
now,
he
it's
did.
over.
It's over.
Listen, Max was incredible. He
You
gave
can't-
up 11 runs in 34 innings.
Yeah.
Naby gave up 17 runs in 34 innings.
And you can't
Both good
win that
performances,
series
I mean.
without Udid. You
Oh,
cannot
not even
win
a
that
question.
series
No,
without
that
Udid.
And a lineup that scored, I think it was 148 runs in the regular season, 12 commandments, which is
62 plus 62 on the run differential.
plus 62. So they
Crazy.
were scoring an average of 10 runs a game, and Maxi
Over.
Deed came in and
14
held them to
games.
under 3 runs a game.
So hard
he's,
to win.
he's no
and
question
so hard
deserving.
to dominate. You talk about these teams that did it. Swimming, obviously, one of them that went wire to wire. Lost, I think, three or four games the whole year.
4.
We always talk about the Golden Jets, 21-2. But how hard is it to dominate a regular season and then really finish off the job? We've seen so many teams not able to do it. Cracker Jacks in '97. That team was,
14,
They were
15
undefeated,
and
right?
1.
Oh,
15 and 1.
15 and 1 or 14 and 2 or something like that, and up 2-0 in the first round. Lost the series 3 straight games.
Not even in
Crazy.
the World Series.
No, they lost the first round they
They
played.
lost the
Right, the
semis.
semis.
Semis,
Semis
they
was
got a
3 out
bye,
of
yeah.
5 back
They
then.
got
Yes.
Yes.
So I've actually done it twice now. Marlins in 2012.
dominant.
We played a 16-game season. We were 13-3, wire to wire as the 1 seed, and then went on to win it all. We actually swept in the World Series. We played in a Game 3 in the semis, so we went 5-1 in the playoffs
It's a
and
great team.
13-3 in the regular season for an 18-4 record overall.
Wow.
And then swimming again 17-4. So I did it twice, wire to wire.
You probably have the second and third best teams record-wise in YMSL history then.
This
never
one was
been an
different
undefeated
because
No.
these two teams were both 1-2 the whole
Who was the
year,
better
Yeah.
team?
whereas swimming was playing a
Golden
team
Jets.
that was 4 or 5 games behind them all
21-2.
year. Swimming was alone. Golden Jets, I don't know what they were.
Golden Jets went
22.
14-2 regular season, played a playoff game because there was another 14-2 team.
Oh my God.
Two
wow.
teams ended
Wow.
14-2. Jets won the playoff game, went 15-2. Both teams got byes. SY Angels was the other team. SY Angels lost to Red, got upset in the semis, and Golden Jets went 6-0 in the playoffs.
Played a
Wow.
playing game for the 1 versus
For the
2
one,
where
for the
both
one
get
seed.
buys?
For the
Where
one
both
seed,
get
yep,
buys?
Played a playoff game.
That's insane.
We have the newsletter.
They were just playing at 3 p.m. They could do whatever they
Golden
wanted.
Jets won 2-0 in the playoff game, went 15-2, and then went 6-0 in the playoffs.
There was nothing else doing it must have been.
Yes,
They
I
could
don't
just
know.
play. Just
21-2
play
on
more.
the old cup. It had the record under their name, 21-2. We don't have it on this cup.
Right.
But on the old cup, they had the record, and I guess the Marlins and swimming are the next best teams. Nobody's ever gone undefeated.
No?
Yeah, yeah,
you have
so-
more 7-7 teams winning
Yes,
it than
100%.
like
100%.
so many of those average regular season teams
Yeah.
that get hot in the right time. I feel like that was
Yeah,
my
Very
whole
hard,
era.
it's very
was,
hard to
you
dominate.
know,
You just
marred
look in
by
the
that.
you just look in the last couple of years. I mean, Brew Crew was what were they? 11-3 or 12-2. They didn't come through,
Right.
and there's a whole list of teams that just
This team looked like they were on their way to doing it. They were, what they go, 12-2.
12-2.
12
Won the
and
first
2.
two playoff games.
Yes.
Yeah, 14
First
and
three.
2.
They were 15-2 at
14-2,
one point.
15-2,
And then
up
lost 3
1
straight.
nothing.
Yep.
And it's amazing because the other team, Big Red, really should have, I thought, outplayed them in game 1,
Yeah, yeah.
and they stole it from them.
So yeah, right after we heard about the Yogi walk off, the swimming Chad started going off. Jack said swimming guys could start popping some champagne. We were all sending
We did that
pictures of
the
us
week
having
earlier.
drinks and stuff like
We have
that.
the Expos. Who
The
went
Expos,
six,
yeah.
Expos
7-0.
went 7-0 in the playoffs. That's the best.
So we had our
postseason.
champagne when they lost game
earlier,
2. Right.
earlier, yeah.
Okay, Sandy, either me or you said a line last year or 2 years ago after Moshiach blew that game to Shake and Bake. We said, yeah, typically if you have a bad at bat, no one notices. But when you blow a game, you get audited. And now
Yes,
we're going to go
I
back.
believe
Is that my
said-
type of line or your type
Like,
of line?
I don't want to take credit on the air, but I'm going to. I believe that was my line.
Okay.
Audit sounds like my type of thing to say.
Okay, fine. So,
Well, we're gonna
Okay,
audit
we're gonna-
that. We're gonna audit that and make sure it was you.
so now with what happened with the 12 commandments after they went 15 of their first 17 games and then they lose 1, 2, 3 games in a row to end the season, never to be heard from again, only to be referenced in terms of how to choke away a first
Yeah,
place
with the
season
Cracker Jacks and,
with the
the
Cracker
likes.
Jacks, which was 20 years ago. We're still saying Cracker Jacks. This 12 commandments team will be remembered forever for that reason. We need to audit what happened in game 3 and game 4.
Yeah, for sure.
We must do it deep.
I think
Game
you know,
4
looking
particularly.
back at game 3 starts 2 quick outs. 2 quick outs, LSAC's coming up. I was noticing because we were actually sitting all the way out in right field. And I couldn't believe, I never noticed it playing with him or playing against him, how deep Nutty plays in center field. It's almost like Farka-esque, where he must be very, very comfortable going in, but for such a fast guy, he plays so deep on everybody.
Wow.
And Elsack hits a bloop that's a single, but he's so deep, and even with his great arm, that Elsack hustles in and gets the second.
Right.
And with 2 outs, now starting to have a double, and Hollywood comes up with a big hit
Clutch.
and gives them the lead, 1-0 right off the bat.
Came out of nowhere. Because
Yeah,
like
'cause
you
it's
said,
2 outs,
outs,
nobody,
on.
And it was a 3-2 count. I think he was down in the count. He battled back and then, turned on it nicely.
You know, they're able to get out of it, but I think that to me in a series where runs were at a premium, just a sleepy run. Most of the runs came with guys on early and then trying to manufacture it and sometimes coming through, sometimes not. But 2 outs, nobody on run was very rare in this series. And to start the game 3, the Big Red Machine gets one right off the bat. But 12 Commandments comes right back.
Yeah,
12
bottom of
Commandments
the
come right back,
first.
and they get a Lead off, great play by Henry, but he beats it out. Nutty
What an
beats it out.
angle our cameraman
Yeah, great
had on
angles.
that
What
play.
angles? We had all series. We had
All
great
series.
angles.
So many guys working.
But they would just a quick mini audit.
Your dad
just
got very mad
Is
at
that
that.
we were
That's
never
right.
able to see Nutty and Barsano get a hit in the same inning the whole series. Maybe till later in Game 4. But they just
Wow.
were never getting hits and getting on together, setting the table.
Barsano,
Well-
I think, had one hit the whole series.
Well, Dash said, "What a play this kid made! Now get a hit, get a
Right,
hit
right.
already." He was not happy, and Big Soli, another Ali and Saban fan, Big Soli was saying, "Yeah, you flipped 1 and 2, but it's still 1 and 2.
Right.
These guys never get on for Ali and Saban."
It's funny. I was in the office with an AB, and maybe Zach, you were there for this convo. We were talking about what they should do for the lineup and this and that. And what I was told was that Ali was going to bat second, and Barsano was going to move to fourth.
Wow,
That it was going to be Nutty, Ali, Saban, Barsano.
And Saban, just
And-
from playing with him, is uncomfortable in the 3
But that's what I was told it
Wow.
was going to be, and they didn't. They stuck with. They just switched it back to Nutty being leadoff and Barsano being second. But Ali coming up third, and it's just funny how many times Ali got up with 2 outs, nobody on,
Crazy.
or stuff
Insane
like
what
that.
they
And,
did.
all series.
you know, so
2 outs,
Ali
nobody
comes
on.
up with a man on first, 1 out, and gets a hit. First and third.
Off of Alco's glove.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
and third. First and third.
So,
And Saban hits a shallow sac fly. I didn't like the throw home. I thought at the time letting Ali go to second, when Nutty's the runner and runs are at a premium again early in the game, so you're not really understanding. But I think keys are you can't throw the ball around in big World Series games.
I was serving my 3-inning suspension for my off-color remarks in Game 2.
Yes.
And I was standing with your dad,
Right.
the doc. We were together when he made the throw, and he was incensed by the throw, went crazy. And someone next to him said the line that he hates of,
Had him?
he was shallow, and a good throw gets him.
Uh-huh.
So he goes, a good throw gets him. He goes, but if it's a good throw, he's Zach. That's the reference he made.
Really?
He goes, then he's Zach. He goes, play the percentages.
So Zach became the left field reference
He's
now.
saying
It was a good
nobody
throw.
has,
Zach in
nobody
left
has
field.
that kind of accurate arm that you're going to trust at that point in the second inning, 1-0 game. Let the run score. Let it be 1-1. And then,
Go
sure
from there.
enough, the guy from second
Elsack,
scores at the next play.
Elsack came in, walked right by the camera. The camera was off that second, but maybe you could hear it on the Mustafa one. And he told me immediately, I cannot believe I threw the ball home. He knew
Right.
when the inning broke that he let that runner go to second, and then bam, the guy scored on the Henry, ball that hit him in the face.
Right.
That run scored because Elsack threw home. It's a big mistake. You're up 1-0. It's the first inning. You gotta let the run score. Throw the ball to second for sure.
What happened on the next play? Did the ball hit the bag and then come up and hit Henry in the
His
face?
arm,
Was it
no?
a bad hop? It looked like it hit the bag. I couldn't see, even in the replay, I couldn't really tell what it hit, but it
Very-
definitely came up and hit him right in the face.
Very weird. Henry thought it hit him in the shoe and came up and hit him. He goes, it hit me in the cleat. I could swear, but I can't tell from the video.
Yeah, you can't
But
tell.
when I was there live, I said, Henry, the ball hit the base. It hit the base. I saw it hit the base and it came up. Hit the bag and came up. But when I'm looking at the video, I'm slowing it down.
I don't think it hit the
I don't
base.
know what it hit. Maybe it hit nothing. I don't know. It came up and hit him in the face. But either way,
And
that
it gets
ball,
far enough away that
ricocheted.
Ali, hustling on the play and scores.
Yeah.
So, at that time, he's saying another big run. Looked like one sloppy run on each side. You had
It's like a
sloppy
ball
run.
in the dirt, and the guy's able. It gets away
Right,
just
right,
enough that
just
the guy
enough,
scores.
just enough that the guy
I
scores
could
and
not
it's 2-1.
believe, and I did not even know because I was on the playground watching the game from a distance
Yeah,
with my
Sarah
daughter.
was here at this time.
Yes, I could not believe he got stitched up on the field.
Crazy.
Henry's
It's
another
got to be the
feature-
craziest
another
thing I
feature
ever
we
heard.
had this
That's
year.
like a hockey type of.
I've never seen
wild.
it, and I couldn't tell. I didn't know. I thought he just hurt, and he's taking a second, and they're tending to him, and whatever.
Who did the stitching?
Mitch.
I could not believe it that he got
What a-
stitched up on the
what a
field,
guy.
stayed in
And
the
a
Had the
sponsor.
game.
gloves,
And a
had
league
the-
sponsor.
Had the gloves somehow.
Mitch
At that, what if he
left
doesn't
and
have the
came
gloves? You think he's gloving?
Can't do
You
it.
have to
Took an
glove.
oath.
You
He
have
took
to
an oath.
glove.
The
Can't
man,
do
okay, just so we know about Henry, however old he is, mid-50s, let's say, right? This guy personifies what
he was
it
a warrior.
means
He was a warrior.
to
What a
be
day
a
he had.
winner in this league.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He got 12 stitches. That's not 2 stitches.
Yeah, that's no joke.
12 stitches is a
Six-time
gash.
world champ.
I mean,
Time well
Looking at the record, staring at it a couple of seasons away, possibly.
And later in the
do
day,
it.
he took a slide from Barsano
Yes.
into
Yeah.
his knee and just
Into the
So
goal.
I
all sorts
think-
of banged up. And he scored from first to win the World Series. So.
I think when we get the sign-ups and Jimmy and
The
Ti
first
and
one.
everyone's calling me and telling me this guy's great, he can throw from here to there, I think they should have to watch the performance of Henry
Insane.
and then understand what it means to play in this league. That's what it means to play in this league.
Yeah.
I don't care how far you can throw the ball. I don't care how far you can hit the ball. That's the passion that it takes.
I mean, he's
it's
the
crazy.
longest tenured player for sure, right? 91 is when he came in the league.
What about
Mo
Mo, what about Mo
Haber?
Haber?
Oh yeah, well, I'm sorry. Mo Haber, 87 or 85. He says 85, but I'm not sure. But he was, yes, he's before him. You're right. With no,
He
with
always
no breaks.
had a huge heart, Henry, whether he played short, now he plays third or whatever. Absolute warrior. And how good did he play in this
Michon, too.
series?
Yep,
Pardon
yep.
me.
Yeah.
Eddie
Reminds
Michon
me
before all
of
that.
a like the SY Cal Ripken, you know, where he started out as a
Yes,
shortstop and a
yes.
great player,
Yeah.
moved to third, but always there, never misses a game, warrior, and just a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Everyone that plays with him loves
Yeah.
loves him.
Yeah.
Afterward, they say, "I need Henry on my
Right,
team next
you
year.
know,
I need
for
Henry
sure.
on my team
Is
next
there
year."
as
And it's
steady as
beyond
they
the
come at third,
Yeah.
glove-wise as steady as they come.
How
And,
many times did Yedid turn to him or he walked to Yedid when Yedid was talking to the
Yeah, also,
umpire?
for sure.
Zach, I don't even know if maybe you remember, but I remember when I was a rookie, Henry was the best player in the league.
Yeah.
It was Mo Shama and
question.
Henry,
No
and Ali
question.
wasn't in the league yet. Ali was just coming back from minor league
Minor league
baseball,
play, yeah.
but Henry was the man, and to become the ultimate role team veteran is not always the easiest transition.
Right.
But he's in tremendous shape. And he's got tremendous character, and it just shows, you know, a guy like that to go from, you know, always probably for the first 25 years in the league, batting 1, 2, 3. Now he's, you know, diminishing role, but
Yeah.
just as valuable.
And by the way,
Somehow
when
just
you,
as valuable.
when
Yeah.
you saw him and he was the best
Great.
player in the league, he's like 13 years into his
Right,
career
right,
in YMSL. As the historian, I will say, Eddie Michon, my apologies, was playing in 82.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I mean, Eddie Michon, also Mo Haber, and now Henry. And to your point, I remember when he came in the league in 91, he came with that Black Magic team that brought their own team, basically. They went undefeated in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Came into the league together, went to the World Series that year and lost. But he was awesome. Sure, I mean, just really unbelievable. And like you say, a gamer, always had heart, always clutch. You trusted him every time he was up. We were talking about top, like 10 guys in the history of YMSL.
Wow.
He's in
Wow,
the conversation. He's definitely
Gotta be.
he's definitely top 10.
With all his success and all of that, this series might have been like his greatest moment. Guy scored from first, the game-winning run of the World Series. He was on the Knights, which is one of the best postseasons ever, with the Farca and David A. Cohen and all
But he
that.
had much more of an impact on this series than he had on that series.
Yeah,
you know,
he did.
on this series, he was really in the mix on a lot of
Yeah.
things, and it just shows Big Red
And he
was
got a lot of big
doing
hits.
a
Always
lot
on
of things
base,
on the middle of
a
the
lot of
lineup.
big
Their whole team contributed, maybe not to the way they contributed in the regular season, but you see how hard it is to contribute the same way in the regular season as it is in the playoffs. When
Yeah.
you see 12 Commandments and what they did from the regular season to the playoffs, so you know their whole team pitched in any way, and it just was a total team effort.
It's a funny series, actually. You know, like thinking about it now, I noticed Henry got a lot of hits, but like aside from the 2 Yogi shots, there weren't a lot of big hits in this series. But you
No.
know, guys were
No.
hitting, but it wasn't a lot of big
Hollywood
hits.
had a couple
There
of
were
big
more
singles.
big outs. There were
Yeah,
more,
big outs.
Big outs.
By the way, the next inning, Alco hits a ball. Barsano throws from his knee, a
Yeah.
ridiculous
Great
play.
Yeah, cannon.
And then 2 outs later, Yogi hits a shot in foul territory.
And Shimmy makes a great play.
And Shimmy makes the play of
Sick.
a.
Oh, I had such
Yeah.
a good angle
How
for
do-
that.
It's good, Sandy. You turned it?
It's good.
Okay, turn it good.
And
so
we
we're
got
in
a
it.
1, 2, 3 inning, but 2 great plays.
Two crazy
great
plays.
plays.
But that's why so many hits were taken away, because these two teams have unbelievable
Right.
defenses.
Yeah.
This guy Barsano
And
will
all
talk about.
year,
Yeah.
the 2 things that I thought translated was all year they had great pitching and great defense.
Yeah.
Those things showed up. As much as we're gonna audit the hitting, you know, the pitching and the defense is a deterrent to the hitting. You know, you got to give some of these defenses and the pitching credit for, you know, shutting down the offenses. We're going to be very critical of the offenses. But, you know, it's a credit to Max and a
Yes.
credit to, you know, Big Red, what they did to shut these guys down. They didn't give them an inch. Because if you give this team an inch, like I've learned in the semifinals, you make
Inch.
one error and it's 10 runs.
It's crazy.
They didn't give them the error.
And you know what, to Naby's credit also, I know there was
Yeah,
a
he
lot of
battled.
walks, which we'll get to and stuff like that, but he got the big out when he needed to. And I was telling him from innings 5 to 11, he pitched a shutout.
Crazy.
A 7-inning shutout where a single run in any of the innings would have won the game for them.
And no pressure on
So-
his offense because it's a tie game. You
Right.
can't lose. All
Correct.
you got to do is get one run, and they have so many
And they
guys.
didn't even
that
have they didn't even have opportunities, by the way.
No.
Aside from one time when Shimmy came up,
Yeah.
which I know we're jumping ahead, so I don't.
Bottom of
Okay.
the second, Bernie Pindex leading off. Time for my first audit. He hits a ball down the left field line, on the line basically, and he doesn't get a double. Whether
Yeah.
he's not hustling because he thinks it's foul, or he's not hustling because he thinks it's an out, or he's not hustling but it's got to be a double. When you paint the left field line, on the line, and the ball trickles into foul territory, and Elsack has to make that throw, I know there's no outs, but getting to second is so important because now we don't need hits to score. We manufacture runs, and he doesn't get to second. And now they get 2 more outs, and then Tzvi gets the hit, but the no run scores.
No
There's a
run
man on
scores,
first,
right.
and it's just an out. And then Nutty with first and third crushes one to center. And we were standing in the outfield, and he laced this ball to center. But if it's a gap, it's a 3-run homer.
Right.
He couldn't hit it harder. But Alco just is able to get back and make a little, maybe he misplayed it a little bit. He made a little jump at the end to save himself.
Well,
but that ball was
crazy.
really crushed.
What about the decision, the conscious decision by Big Red before that play to tell their outfielders come in on Nutty because we don't want to give up the single
Right,
there. Like
right.
they were playing like 8th inning defense in
Crazy.
the 3rd inning, could have burnt them to the tune of a 3-run homer against a power hitter, and Alco had to jump. He had to jump a little bit. You know, he had to jump
Right.
up. The Barsano, not the Barsano, the Bernie Pindeck play. That was my biggest shock on the replay, that ball was fair. I thought the ump screwed it up. You could tell from how he
Do you
even
think
called
maybe he
it.
thought it was foul? That's why
I
he
think
didn't
so.
go right away.
But it was fair.
But it was fair, and,
Yeah.
and that's a big run, to get to 3-1, to get himself a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah.
But then I think, okay, now the 3rd inning, maybe again, 1, 2, 3, shuts them down.
Yeah.
Who's coming up for 12?
Barsano, Ali, Saban.
2,
1,
3,
2, 3.
2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Coming up 2-1. This is when, like Zach, you talked about it. The
Yeah.
big guys showing up, Ali showing up, channeling, the Z mode, the Abady mode. This is when you have to do it. And they go down 1, 2, 3, soft contact.
All 3 soft. I wrote the same thing. 1, 2, 3. Nothing's even right about it. That was huge because then Big Red all of a sudden, the first of many
Leadoff
walks.
Yeah. So if you want to be critical of anything of Naby is he got out of a lot of trouble, but he got himself into a lot of trouble, and it started in the 4th, where it was a pattern going forward. Up until this point, he wasn't in any major trouble. He had a bloop and a single in the 1st.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 in the 2nd. 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd. Leadoff walk in the 4th, and then a single. 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Correct. Elsack with the single 1st and 3rd. Then Holly comes up. He hits the ground ball to Barsano.
Yeah.
The fake throw to second. Looks back the runner.
No, fake throw to first, looks back the runner, and then throws
With
to first.
the ball, he looked back the runner,
yeah.
like almost like
So,
I'm going to tag you,
I
then went to
I
first.
was critical of the play.
Okay,
I
go.
said he's not go. He fielded the ball on the bag. Soroya can't really move. And to his credit, he didn't fall for the fake, and his foot was always on the bag. He didn't even take a lead on the pitch.
Correct.
Which is big. If he takes a lead on the pitch, he's out. That's why I always say on
Correct.
3rd, we talked about it in games 1 and 2. Don't take the lead.
Yeah.
He didn't take the lead.
Charles Saka.
Right,
Yeah.
Charles
Similar,
Sackett, exactly.
yeah.
He didn't take the lead. His foot's on the base, but he pump fakes it and then he throws to first. I think keeping the force is so important because now it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
You wanted to throw to second.
You got to go to second. You got to go to second there, and you got to hope that worst case scenario in your mind, Soroya is on 3rd. We're giving up that run a little bit. We can't have it lose the lead.
Right.
But he goes to first. He gets the first out of the inning. Now it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
Then Charles Saka takes the walk. So now
Another
base
walk.
is loaded. So that
Right.
second walk of the inning, base is loaded.
And now there's the big play.
And then
There's
you
the
have
big play.
the Alco sack fly.
Right.
You just praise Sammy.
Now
for-
this one is terrible. This one we said is the opposite. He reads it as a hit off the bat and he's running. But even if it is a hit,
Just
where
wait.
are you going?
Little League.
This is where if my father saw this and he was sitting next to Sandy, he probably went crazy. I wasn't sitting next to my father for this
Right.
play, but just where are you going? First step, you're not going anywhere on 3rd. Credit to the third base coach for not ripping him back.
Right.
Because where are you going?
It was an egregious mistake, and it made a clear sack fly as close as could possibly be. Did you think he was out or safe?
We couldn't see.
Right.
But Lewis's reaction, I'm screaming out, but what's Lewis doing? Because now Lewis is arguing, and it becomes second and third again. He's just arguing, and runners are running, and I don't know. But it was to Lewis's, I don't know, he must have felt he really got him because he turned around and got in the umpire's face and was letting runners advance. When if he was clearly safe, Lewis, pick your head up and throw the ball somewhere. There's runners running everywhere.
There's a famous play, David Cohn on the Mets play at first, and he's arguing with the umpire, and the team is scoring.
Right.
They're scoring
Oh, my
runs, and he
God.
has no idea.
Breaking ball, grounder. Marshall lets Jeffries get it, tossed to Cone, he tags the bag. And they say safe. Watch the runner, he's not watching the runner. The runner scores. And Cone's still arguing. Here comes the second runner. The second runner scores. I don't believe I just saw that. I don't believe it.
Well, you talk about losing your cool.
Lewis fielded the ball, and the second the ball got in his glove, he tagged Sammy on the hand, sliding.
Very
But-
tough call because
Yeah.
where he tagged him, and it was so far behind Sammy's body, his arm was back here, so it looked clearly like if the umpire's watching the plate and the slide in, it's not even a close play. But Lewis felt like he got him, and,
Right.
and you feel it when you touch the guy with
You
your
know you
glove.
touched
You know
him.
you
It's,
got
one,
him.
it's one of
Exactly.
those in the MLB that you see now where the call's safe on the field and immediately Lewis goes like this, telling his dugout to go challenge it. And then when they do challenge it, you may see the video evidence that he's out, but you know it's asking too much here.
But I don't know, as many times
Did we
as I
ask
looked at it.
Soroya?
Yeah.
Did we ask him if he got him? I mean, he's an honest guy at this point. He was nothing.
I,
Did he
I
think?
forgot what he said. We asked him right away. He said my foot got in, but
Oh, but so he felt it on his hand.
there's two different things. Did Lewis touch him?
Right.
And then if he touched him, was his foot already on
But
the
if he
plate
said
or
my
not?
foot got in, that shows that he felt
I
like he got
forgot what he
tagged.
said, to tell you the truth.
This is an ongoing audit. We're going to have to get
yeah.
more
So-
information.
We'll be
Case not
back.
closed. Yeah.
We'll
So
be back.
after 3, it's 2-2.
2-2. Wait, they were still at second and third after
Yeah,
the sack
yeah.
fly. Who was up after that? Who's up after Alco? Probably Henry. I forgot what he did, but clearly.
Pop out to end the inning.
Okay, so men were left on right there, second and third.
With second and third. I
2-0.
was thinking that the arguing was going to cost them, and it didn't cost them.
Right, okay.
They get out of it. Now Ruby Shalou leads off with a hustle double.
This
Again,
is what you were saying about Pindek. If he's on second, you score without
That's
a hit.
it. And now then they do their job. Sack fly. We're up 3-2 again. Get a little cushion.
I
Not
gotta
so
say,
much cushion.
12 commandments, every time they gave up a run, right away they took the
Yeah.
lead in this game.
Yeah.
That's why I thought they
They were
gonna
playing
win
from
this
ahead
game.
the whole day.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of a different feel than the previous games when they were playing from behind. They were playing from ahead these games.
It's almost like
But they couldn't get
It's
the
almost
two-run
like they
lead.
got a little tight. Like they coughed up the lead that they
Right.
had late, and then they're like they like froze up. Like they had so many chances. I mean, not really scoring opportunities, but innings to score, and they just couldn't get it done. Maybe
Yeah.
they were thinking about, oh, we had this game and now we gave it away. Blah blah blah.
Top 5. Again, Navy starts out single to Yogi, 1 out. Eshko singles on a changeup. You commented on the video, terrible pitch. We
Hated
were all
it.
screaming, terrible pitch.
I hated
You
it.
can't throw Eshko the changeup. He can't hit the fastball. Why are you quickening up his bat? And now,
Crazy pitch. He not to knock Nabi, who's a great pitcher and a smart pitcher. He had Eshko popping up.
Yeah.
The whole series.
Yeah.
Eshko, I couldn't believe someone like Eshko, who's known for taking 8 steps in the box and
Yeah.
putting the ball where he wants. I couldn't believe how bad his at-bats were.
Well, against Nabi, when he's throwing that hard, you can't do that. You
He
can barely
gotta-
do that.
Axe, hack
Right,
it down.
I hear it,
He's
but-
not
but-
hitting the ball over the outfield.
But he slows
You're
his
not.
bat. He quickens his bat up by throwing him a changeup, and he gets
Crazy.
his big hit.
I couldn't believe
And now
that pitch.
Nabi loses the zone to Bub and walks the bases. Now the bases are loaded. He
Right.
walks Bub. He walks Bub, the biggest play of this game in regulation. Ground ball to Barsano. Before the play,
Oh my God.
we got to be talking about what are we doing?
Yeah,
Are we
I mean-
playing infield in? It's so hard to turn double play. It's so hard to turn the double play third to home. If you want to say you're on the base and you're stepping on third and throwing to first, that's a double play we've seen. Easy. He's playing off the line. He goes further off the line to field the
Crazy.
ball. You slowed it down. I don't know if it was up. Yogi's a step off of third.
Yeah.
He could have run
He
it.
could have beat him in a race.
Yeah,
He
could have beat him in a race
race.
and ran home. Instead, he runs to the bag 3 steps and then throws the ball out of play.
Yeah.
Now, rule controversy, they got it right. The runners didn't have second or third when
Right.
the ball went out of play, and they only advanced 2 bases. So it's going to be second and third again, but a mental error.
No.
A mental error that you
that's a
can't
bit- that's-
have.
you can't
It's going to be
have that.
2 outs, bases loaded again, and we dodged the bullet. We got through Soroya.
When you see him field the ball, as he does every time, but then you see him running to third, you're like, did
Yeah,
I forget
yeah.
how many outs there were? Did I
Right.
forget that maybe it's not a force? What is going on? I couldn't
crazy.
believe my eyes
It's
when I saw that play.
first of all, you got to know as a player
What am I
what,
doing
what
right
am I
away?
doing when the ball's coming to me. Third base, it doesn't matter infield in or not.
Right.
You're pretty much even with
But
the bag
if I'm
every
going
time.
to my left, away from the bag, I'm going home right away. If I'm going towards the line, or if I'm on the line and I feel that maybe I'm stepping and throwing, but once I take 1 step to my left, that play is out.
You even once you're taking 1 step to your left, you even have more of a case to go to second and then to first for
Right,
the double
right,
play.
right.
To stop and to run back to third, it was just
Right.
It was just a brain fart. It is you could call it what it is. I mean, he goes home. You saw it later in the game with the 12 commandments. They loaded the bases after the Yogi double and then the walk. They threw home for
Yeah.
2 forces in a row. It's just what. It needs to be known. Ali needs to tell Barsano. Barsano needs to know it. A bunch
Later
of things
in the
need to
game,
happen. Yeah.
when Barsano threw home with that backhand flip,
Yeah.
Ali told him 20 times, go home, go home, go home.
Right.
At this point, he must have not told them anything. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but at this point,
Well, that's
Barsano
the
made
game's
it.
on the line.
Yeah.
If he's not going home in the 11th inning with the
I
bases
mean,
loaded.
It's an impossible
Yeah,
double play
yeah.
to turn, running to third, stepping, and then throwing.
He was
You
diagonal.
look at the series before when Ike Mavora had that play at the place. He was standing on first base, so he stepped and then threw. Okay,
Well,
then you make the
I
tag play.
have a
But
similar play later on coming up with Saban doing the same thing,
Yeah.
stepping on first
Yes.
and throwing home. Why not just come home?
I hear.
You know, I did different play because the first baseman is so easy, but it's if you're gonna throw the ball home anyway, then go home right away when it's an easy throw. Then instead of throwing
We'll
the ball
get
out
there.
of play, we'll get there.
I think they were up 2 at that point.
Right.
I think they were up 2. Get the out. Let
Next
the run
game, that
score
was the
in.
next
Next
game.
game. Okay, we'll get there.
They walk Elsack to load the bases again intentionally, and they get Holly to ground out to end the inning. We're tied again, going into the bottom of the 5th.
Crazy.
Bottom of the 5th, Loudon, leadoff single.
Huge hit. Okay.
Huge hit.
Bottom of the 5th. When Big Red led 1-0 in the first, 12 Commandments come back, they score
Right.
2. Big Red ties the game at 2, 12
come
Commandments
back 3.
immediately take a 3-2
And
lead.
they tied at 3.
3-all, bang,
Loudon,
lead
big
off hit
hit.
Loudon. And you know you're turning the lineup now.
Leadoff hit Loudon. Who was the
Zvi.
last out of that inning? They didn't use the runner for Loudon.
Right.
Who's the last out of that last inning?
I think
Shimmy.
it was.
So
Oh,
you
wow.
have Shimmy as the runner. The
Right.
next
He's
guy,
probably the
Zvi,
second fastest guy on
hits
the team.
ball,
Meanwhile,
a-
Shimmy.
Yeah.
A dribbler up the middle, and Eshko makes a tremendous play, backhands it, and gets the force at second. But I'm thinking it's Loudon running. If they use the runner there, it's an infield hit. Instead, it's Loudon running, and they make a tremendous play to get the force at second. And Eshko played. We want to say offensively, he was struggling.
Oh,
He
this
played a
inning, this inning
tremendous
alone.
defense.
This inning alone,
My
he
God.
made two
great plays.
that
Two
was
great
just,
plays.
Could argue that saved the game entirely.
Absolutely. And on the whiteboard, Farka said, I said, he's a little too annoying for you, Dean. That was my critique.
Right.
Farka's critique was, I don't even know if he can man second base.
Wow.
Well, that question
Right.
was, because he's still annoying, but that question was clearly answered in that he could handle second base.
Before that,
That's for sure.
Nutty comes up, man on first, 1 out. Top of the order again.
Yeah.
1 out. He swings at the changeup and pops out.
Yeah, bad one.
You can't have an unproductive out. You gotta be productive. Even trying to move the runner, hit a deep fly. But I don't know. You gotta move the runner from first to second there.
You gotta do
because
something.
Barsano comes up and gets his 1 hit of the series, or his 2nd hit of the series,
One.
and all of a sudden now it's first and second for Ali.
And how many times can you expect Allie to get the hit? He can't bat 1,000. He can't bat 1,000.
If anyone can, actually.
Right,
But you know, yeah.
First
Anyway.
and second, Ali comes up. Also, almost a mental error. He hits a ground ball between first and second.
Hit it hard.
Ruby Shaheba, where are you going? Rochi, where are you going? He played great defensively at first, but a couple of times he gets caught off the bag, wildly off the bag. One time he made a tag runner, which he got lucky that the guy was there to tag him. but he's just abandoning first. You cannot leave first base, especially you have to know where Eshko's playing. Eshko plays on the grass deep, and he's in the hole there. It's right to him. But Eshko, they said similar to a play Jack Bar-Nathan made in the Stratton Oakmont series. But
Sick game, but
what
sick
Jack
play,
Bar-Nathan
though.
did was he took 2 steps to first and then pivoted and threw.
Correct.
Eshko right away, no hesitation,
He saw.
made it and gunned it to second. Because if he hesitates, maybe he's safe at first. Maybe he's safe at second, but he throws it right away and they end the inning.
Great play.
And that was
Great play.
the 12 Commandments one chance, I thought, before the 11th inning where
Crazy.
they could have gotten the lead back. They had the guy up they wanted.
There was one more opportunity in there, but yes.
When we say it takes 12 men to win the championship, which it does, whether you're swimming or untouchables or big red machine, this is what we're talking about. That
Right.
ball, you can't make the ball go to Sammy Soroya every time.
Right.
The game, twice in this inning, Eshko made tremendous
Crazy.
plays. Jackie Eshko.
takes 12 men, doesn't take 12 commandments. Obviously,
Exactly,
you know?
12 men.
Top of the 6th, Naby again, leadoff walk, starting to catch up to him, starting to
Yeah.
become a habit. Leadoff walk.
And
Charles.
from this point, it really became an
Right.
issue.
Then he gets one out. He gets
Alco.
an out, Alco.
Fielder's
and then,
choice,
and
short
then
center.
a single by
Henry, again.
First and second. Yogi up. He hits a low sinking liner and Shimmy makes a
Sick play.
backhanded
Crazy
catch. His glove was the wrong way. He didn't catch it like this. He almost backhanded it against his hip. And great catch. And then they get a fly out from Sabag where I was standing right behind. I'm like, he's so deep, he's so deep, he's so deep. I would move him in. And then Sabag gave it a pretty nice ride.
Yeah.
But Shalou was there to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Sabag mastered the fly out. Some of them were long, some of them were shallow. He flied out every single time. I could not believe that Elsack kept going with Sabag in that spot.
Ruby
slotted
got one
with
AB
Ruby.
and a walk.
4 pitches.
4 pitches, and then that was his only AB of the
That's it.
That's his gem of the day.
Listen, I think, in terms of managing, and I like the way Elsack did things, what is the upgrade there from Ruby to Sabag? You're going to go and outright bench Sabag, who's not playing at all, he's not playing the field, or you stick
Right.
to your defined roles all year where Ruby's playing first and Sabag's hitting, and that's the vibe of the team. You're not going to go create this whole monster for what? For Ruby's going to go hit
And
650?
you know what?
No.
It paid off in the 7th of game 2. We'll get to it.
I hear you, but it was costing him the series because Sabag was up every time
Yeah.
with men on. How
Yeah.
many times? You're not going to take one at bat and give it to Ruby who can hit the ball?
But it was all year that way.
Yes.
Where that stretch of the lineup was coming through, the Yogi, the Henry, those
Yes.
guys, and Charles Saka, of course, were coming through for Sabag all year, and they were able to get to this point and obviously
And
win it all.
that's,
So
that's why you're a championship captain, because you can't have a guy moping on the
Right,
sideline.
right.
You can't lose the guy
not good. It's not
in
good.
game 3.
Bottom of the
But
6th.
it's just so hard. It's so hard to watch him pop up every time.
Bottom of the 6th. 1, 2, 3.
Saban, Ruby,
Right.
Shimmy.
So they had a couple of times 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 5, 6, and they don't even threaten
Nothing.
You need sawing people off, breaking bats.
ground
it really
ball.
was.
There's a ground
And
ball to
that's-
Henry, a ground ball to
and
Charles.
it was about this time and that type of inning that just happened in the bottom of the 6th that I was sitting with Jack over here and a couple other guys where we were saying it's boring. It's boring, Norman,
Right.
and that's what before we rewatched the series
But-
and said like it's so many tense moments. It was just Max going to work now, where
Right.
these guys were weak pop-ups every single time, and we're like, this is not fun to
Right.
watch. Even though it's the 8th inning and the 9th
Right.
inning and the 10th, it got to that point.
Top
so.
of the 7th. Again, let's follow the theme. Leadoff walk.
Crazy.
Leadoff walk. And now leadoff walk to the 10 hitter.
Right.
So
Turn
the top
the
of the
lineup.
order is coming up. Bub, he goes 3-0. He goes 3. He's gonna lose the game. He's gonna lose the game. It's backs against the wall, and he digs deep. He throws 2 strikes, and a Bub with a great at bat. I like that he didn't swing.
Me
You know
too.
what? I say, you know what? Bub has been
course.
there. He just had tremendous at bats. He wasn't maybe getting the hits, but he was working. Every at bat was 3-2, making them work. He gets to 3-2. He hits one hard at Ali. Ali makes a very nice play
I
up
thought
from his
so,
stomach,
too.
rolled it to Svi, who makes a nice scoop. He didn't hit him
Yeah.
on a fly, but they get the force, and for a second he can breathe because he gets it out and there's a man on first after battling back from 3-0.
Naby has guts because on 3-0 he threw it soft. 3-1 he fired the pitch, and then 3-2 he went with that changeup
Right.
like he did for Eshko.
But Bub
and
hit
Bub
it, stayed
waited
back.
on
Yeah,
it.
he stayed
waited.
back.
He whacked it. Ali, a tremendous play, because that was like a one-hopper, I think, right to hard play. And then, like you said, he rolled it.
Now he walks Soroya, loses the play. So he almost walked 3 guys in a row. He got the one out, very big getting Bub out. But now he walks Soroya first and second. Elsack and Hollywood coming up. I thought these were 2 of the worst at-bats of the day.
Yeah.
And you know what? In this, I'm starting to get a feeling they're going to blow it. Like, they've had so many chances. I didn't think 12 Commandments had so many chances. They're lucky to be here.
Correct.
But Big Red, if you lose this game, you got to put a missing persons report out for Elsack after this game. If he blows this lead,
Crazy.
blows this game, he makes out and Hollywood makes out.
Not
And,
just makes out. Elsack grounds out to third.
right,
And
ground,
you
and
kept
Hollywood
saying-
with the pop-up.
Yeah.
And you kept saying it on the highlights. What is Elsack swinging at?
Crazy.
It's things in the dirt, first
He
pitch
just
every
walked,
time.
He
it
just
was-
walked 3 guys almost, and
He
but
couldn't wait to swing the bat.
And
He
you'll
walked
go
3
you'll
guys.
go and
Bottom
look
of
back
the
at the
seventh,
stats, and Elsack had a hell of a series.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, he started 8 for 9.
Right.
I don't think he got a hit on this day.
no, I think he had 2,
Okay.
and he had 10 hits in a World Series
yeah.
in 4 games. It's
But
tremendous.
great.
So,
Bottom of the 7th, again, they're gonna walk off. Their momentum, they're jacked. They're coming off the field.
Just
1, 2,
got out of
3.
that inning.
1, 2, 3.
Who was it? DH? Bernie. DH a fly out to Elsack, who got 100 flyouts.
Right.
Loudon.
Svi.
Loudon and then Bernie and then Loudon. Loudon
got
another
it.
fly
Okay.
out. Okay, fine. Top of the 8th. Charles
First
Zach
2 guys
batting.
get out, hit by Henry, and then they get out of the inning.
Okay, yeah, nothing eventful.
Nothing to doing.
Okay, fine.
Bottom of the 8th, 10-1-2 coming
oh
up.
my God.
One
This is
Worst
like,
inning.
1, 2,
This is
3.
where you could say what is going on here. This is
Guys,
terrible.
please, we're begging you.
A pop
Win
up
the
to the
game.
catcher.
Win the game.
Forget the boredom aspect of it, because we're fans. We're lucky to watch a game. It's the people on the field, but like, how do you not be licking your chops? 10-1-2.
But this is where you
chance
get to
to
the
win a
point
World
where, you
Series
know what?
game.
People-
Nutty, Barsano, get it to Alley
Guys,
with guys
gotta.
on.
But you know what? This is where I can't see anyone pointing fingers at AB. How many innings we're reading them? He figuring out ways to get out of trouble and
Yeah.
shut them down. And
Yeah.
it's 2-3-4 coming up, 1-2-3 coming up, 10-1-2 coming up. You guys gotta help him out.
With no
You
pressure.
gotta help him out.
You're the bottom of the inning. You can't lose the
Like-
game.
Like I said, right now, no matter what, the walks, the pressure, the situation, Naby's working a 3-inning shutout right now. And that's it. The theme is going to carry on for the next
Top
4
of the
innings.
9th, though, he goes back to his famous, familiar comfort zone with the leadoff walk.
to Ruby Shabar, first at bat of the World
Yeah,
Series.
yeah.
4-pitch
Leadoff
walk.
Then he gets a line out.
Right, by Eshko. Then
Then
Bob, another walk.
great walk. Another great
3-0.
at bat.
Right. 3-0, 3-2. He took 2 pitches again, and then,
And then he
he
gets
walked.
the walk.
And now you
this
think
is
Sammy.
a crazy play.
Yeah.
So
But Sammy has a chance right here. I mean, he's
He had
a
a lot of
rookie,
chances until
whatever.
he-
But this is his chance to win a World Series game.
Right.
And when this crazy play happened, T.I. comes to me immediately and he goes, "There goes your comparisons to Zach and Jack, the 2 guys I'm sitting with right now." He goes, "You think they let that at bat go out of their hands without a base hit? Impossible." So I'm like, no one bats 1,000. I'm
Right.
sure Jordan.
Right.
You always see those stats, how many game-winning shots he
Right.
missed, No one bats 1,000, but this was a bad one. This was too
this
on.
is a bad one, but it was also a terrible base running mistake
Terrible.
by Ruby
Ruby.
Shabar because Svi does the wrong thing. He steps on the base first. So once he steps on the base first, Ruby's not forced to go anywhere. Of
course not.
But you have to know also Ruby's not going to know what to do, and you got to tell him to stay. And I thought the third base coach was telling him to run. It was a little confusing from the outfield on what to do. It took a short hop. It was clear that he didn't catch it.
Clear to me.
We all saw that
Yeah.
he didn't catch it. So no one moves. And once he steps on the bag, it almost reminded me of a play that I got Charles Saka out on when the ball went up to the sky. It was an infield fly, and I let it drop on that terrible orange team slapping the base.
okay.
And then as I approached him, he just inexplicably walked off
Yes,
the base.
I remember.
That's what Ruby did. He's like, he stepped on the bag, and then all of a sudden Ruby just walks off the bag. Like maybe he thought he was out. I don't know where he was going, but he just ran into an out to
I
end
think
the
he
inning.
thought that he was forced to go to third because
But once he steps
don't
on the, but it also,
You know, I don't
you know
know.
what? At that point, it's going to be first and second, 2 outs for Elsack, and then they don't even get an at bat.
Gotta just stay, if unsure, just stay where you are.
Because if you
I
leave the
think-
bag, you're out anyway. No, where you think you're going to
I
beat it to
think
third?
the 8 coaches that Big Red kept having, that we kept having to move, I
Right.
think the 8 third base coaches were telling him to move, and it could have cost them because you took
Right.
the bat out of Elsak's hands. With first and second 2 outs, you could have had Elsak batting for a chance to give you the lead in the World Series. Instead, that inning shockingly comes to an end.
Crazy.
Right there.
And
There
you
was one
say-
out.
And now they're screaming, coming off the dugout. Allie's leading off. It's going to be a walk-off. I'm thinking this is it.
They were slapping five like they just won the game.
Right.
There was a lineup of high fives between the 12 commandments. They were thrilled. It was crazy.
And we kept saying, like,
Right.
okay, they escaped that. Now
Right.
they're going to win it.
Right.
And again,
So
Okay.
Allie leads off with a pop-out.
Bad.
Bad at bat. Bad at bat. Again, you know, you just want to see some kind of table setting. But Saban comes and gets a hit, and now they use their runner. They didn't use their runner earlier. They use their runner now. Allie for Saban. Allie's on first. Ruby singles.
Beautiful shot.
Hard single to where Allie can't go to third.
Correct.
I don't think he could have went to third.
No,
It
no.
was not going to happen. So it's first and second.
yeah.
No, it wasn't
No
even
shot.
a question.
Right.
Is he
No, no.
going to
Yeah,
go? It
yeah,
was first
he
and
couldn't go.
second. Bernie. Fielder's choice.
But you know, again, Saban could have gone. It's looking back, obviously, but
But the runner tags to
could
third.
Saban could have gone first to second there
Yeah.
on a hit,
Right.
Yeah.
and they burned their runner where they maybe could have used it a little later on.
So now you have first and third, 2 outs, DH coming up. And I thought he hit it pretty nice to left, but Elsak gets back.
from
and
our
and
angle, it
makes,
looked nice.
you know,
From
yeah.
the replay angle, it was like, okay, right, pretty
It
much
was
right
right
at
at
him.
him. Yeah.
DH, just yet another guy that had a World Series game on his bat. He could have been with
That's
the
it, winner right there.
off hit.
I
Think
mean,
of how many hits he's thinking
Pindek
he's
had
had
it,
in his life.
and Pindek had it, and DH had it. Back to
Pindek-
back, first and second, 1 out.
And DH could have had the moment where they win a World Series game via a walk-off hit.
And again, I said it in the last show. These guys that had monstrous years, they both, I think, hit 500. Pindek and David Harry. I said one of these guys are going to have to
400.
do something, or Allie's going to have to be at an astronomical level. And this was their chance to do something. Very clearly, they could have gone 0 for the rest of the series. That one hit, they could have done their job.
Right.
Off,
You
done.
also said for them to win this series, Naby is going to have to be ridiculous, and you don't know if he has it in him. But right now, since the 5th, we have the 6th, the 7th, the 8th,
The 5th,
the 9th.
6th, 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
All these
And now the
innings,
10th comes up. Leadoff man gets Elsak. Hollywood singles finally gets a hit since the first inning, his first hit.
Right.
But then he gets Charles out and Alco out. Alco really struggled offensively. I thought he helped them defensively. I thought he played a pretty nice center field, but he was, struggling
He had
at
a
the
rough
dish.
playoffs overall.
He
didn't do
started
anything
out,
against us.
look at where he batted. The one guy they weren't afraid to move down in the order was him. And you know what? Deservingly so. He didn't hit. I thought he was still a great teammate.
Yeah.
I think they still had enough around him. He was the one guy who was just really struggling, though.
you had to move him because of where he bats.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you can't
can't
bat a
have an
four-hitter.
automatic out at
Right.
2 or 3 or 4 or 5. You can't.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can't. Sabag in the 9 hole instead of Ruby. What are you gaining?
Right.
Okay. But he did come through with a couple of sack flies on this
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
He
yeah.
hit the sack fly on the Sammy play, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So now they come up bottom of the 10th.
1,
Another
2, 3.
chance.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
How
I think
could it
that
be?
They had too many innings where they didn't even get a guy on. That's what I think. Like what we said, boring.
Boring,
Is
yes.
that it's not that they didn't threaten. Even when Big Red didn't threaten, we're going fast through their innings, but it was one man on, one out, and a single. They had runners on. They had very few 1, 2, 3 innings. But right now, 12 commandments, 1, 2, 3 inning, and we go to the famous, will be famous 11th inning.
Yes.
And it starts off again with the leadoff walk.
Crazy.
So finally, too many
To Henry, right?
leadoff walks.
To
Leadoff
Henry.
walk to Henry. And
Yogi.
a guy that I hate to walk, and he walks a lot. Similar to Jimmy, he doesn't swing at the first pitch.
First
He's
pitch,
almost
it's a
giving
known
you,
thing. One
he's
strike.
giving you a
0
strike.
and 1.
So to fall behind to him is such a shame because he's giving you a strike. And
Sure.
but yet him and Jimmy know something that we don't know because they lead the league in walks for
Yeah.
decades. They're guys
Crazy.
who walk 6, 7 plus times, and Jimmy 15 times. And so maybe I gotta stop swinging at the first pitch because it's something that the patience pays off because he walks in a big spot, and then Yogi comes up and crushes one.
Huge
And
hit.
you know what? I was sitting here and I said, how do you not have that right center gap covered?
He was going there the whole day.
Living there.
Yeah,
Living
he
there,
was
living
going there the whole
and
day.
yeah, I thought it was too big, and then He split it. Nutty was 3-4 steps
Yeah.
away, where if he's, closed that gap from before the pitch, he may be standing under that ball.
So, are you suggesting 4 outfielders?
No.
Okay.
Just shade him to right.
was-
Yogi
yeah.
was not using that left field line. So you can move everyone a
Move
little
the center
over.
fielder to right.
Yes,
little
let the
right
left
center.
let the left fielder cover the left center gap a little more and position that way.
I wonder if you did that to cover this gap, if it would have helped them on the bomb, or if the bomb was just
But I
so
mean,
far
you know what?
out.
If you looked back at it, if your strategy was to play Yogi 4 outfielders, how many ground balls did he hit? He's a fly ball hitter.
Right.
Wouldn't have been the worst thing in
Right.
the world with a man on first. Maybe just taking away the double.
And
Bob-
it's easy to say now
Yeah, of
that
course,
you
of
should have
course.
had the right center gap covered, but I was saying it live.
Yeah.
It was too big.
So Bub was saying he thought because Yogi's such a power and really a fly ball hitter, not a ground
Right.
ball hitter, he thought they should have gone 4 just to cut off the right center gap that you're
Right.
talking about. And then he goes, maybe the guy would have been in the left center gap for the game winner because they were getting that.
I mean, that one was crushed, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, okay, go.
So now Sabag walks.
Which was, I went nuts when he
Yeah,
walked him. I go,
because-
you can't walk a guy that
because
never gets
you're
hit.
just thinking now they're going to turn over the lineup.
Yeah.
I almost thought, as we all thought, they're going to give up 1 this inning, but they have the top of their order coming up. Not the end of the world to give up 1. Got to be positive.
Right.
Not the end of the world to go, well, you don't want to walk Sabag because you have Sabag and Eshko. They've been 2 automatic outs. And Bub hasn't beaten you with the hit. He's beaten you with a couple of walks.
Correct.
But he wasn't hitting the ball. You just don't want to see Soroya in this inning. And he walks Sabag. I thought it was a terrible walk.
Bases
but now,
loaded, nobody out.
nobody out. Eshko,
Who flew out every time he was up. Every single time he's up, he flew out.
except
This
this time,
time,
he hits a slow ground ball to third. There hasn't been a slow ground ball to third hit like this since Abe Soroya in the Cucumbers
Right.
hit a slow ground ball to third to Henry.
First pitch.
First pitch.
First pitch.
And Eshko was maybe the second pitch this at bat. But terrible execution, and Barsano makes the flip home right away. Like I said, this time he didn't have a problem.
No.
He was actually drawn in to field the ball, even
Yeah.
if he was thinking, but he makes the nice play. They get the out at the plate, but now the top of the order's coming up. So again, another
Up.
chance to win the game or take the lead, and it's on Bub's bat.
Now there's 1 out.
One out.
Okay?
Gotta do a
So
job.
now you're
Gotta
not
do a
thinking
job.
about getting a hit now. Now you,
gotta do a
have to
job.
score the
You
run.
gotta do a job.
You gotta fly out here.
You got to do a job. You got to elevate the ball, and you know what? Not that I could live with a pop up, but if you're trying to elevate the ball, at least you understand the assignment.
Right.
To hit a ground ball here is a misdiagnosis of what's going on.
It's a criminal offense.
Yeah. You know what? And again, if they lose this game, you're looking back at how many opportunities did they waste.
I don't think
You know?
Bub would have ever been able to live with himself.
No, well, first of all, Expos semifinals on July 4th. Ali Marshall hits the leadoff triple, leads a carrier batting. All we told him, and we told him, I can't tell Bub now because I'm
Right.
broadcasting and I'm neutral and etc. Even though obviously I want him to hit the
thinking
fly
it,
ball.
yeah.
I'm thinking he's got to hit the fly ball. We all tell Lee, hit the ball in the air like you've done a million times. He gets a base hit on a hard grounder in between third and short, and we wouldn't even celebrate
Right,
with him.
because
He
they-
totally botched the assignment
Right.
and got the game-winning hit, and we ended up winning that game 6-5. But you gotta get the ball in the air at any cost. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care. You're a leadoff batter. He would never have been able to
One
live it down if
hopper
they blew the
right
game.
to Ali. Ali gets up from a knee, makes a great throw home, strong throw,
Takes
like
his
nothing.
time even.
Had time and takes his time. Beautiful.
Well done.
Now we're bases loaded, 2 outs.
Right, doesn't try to get a double play.
Nothing.
No.
That's what you
Out.
got to do, and you shouldn't be doing more. And now a guy who's been struggling, at least today, with a couple of big outs in big spots, comes up again. And he has a long at bat. He hits a couple of foul balls.
To right.
Into the parking lot, into the trees, into the cars. And we're watching, and Shimmy's just running back to the same spot he's playing.
Wow.
Running back
No
to the same spot he's
adjustment.
playing. Now, he's definitely trying to go to right. It seemed like, he's late on a ball, or he's, fouling balls off. You could get a feel of what he's trying to do. I'm not saying, he's going to make that play, because you got to respect Sammy Soroya to hit the ball good and to hit the ball to right. But he didn't even move a little bit. He just kept jogging back to right center. And you know what? Just as fate has it, he hits a ball that lands maybe a ball length inside the chalk. on
Crazy.
off the bat. I thought it was a pop up to first. I thought Saban was gonna catch it.
And live, once I saw Saban not even flinch for the ball, I said, "That's it." That's
Oh
the
my
game.
God.
I said it right then and there. I saw him not move. I said, "Chimmy's got no shot at that."
I wonder how I saw it. I wonder how I called it. I forgot how I saw it. I'm
Right.
trying to remember if I knew it was a bloop right away. But all his foul balls, none of them will hit well. You didn't
No.
have one shot that you see like, oh, sometimes you pull one, it's into the forest over there. Sometimes you hit a car over here.
And-
these are high
And
pops.
looking at Sammy, Sammy a rookie, obviously, but facing Naby this year, it was not his comfort zone. He had
Really?
a great year, but I think he went 0 for 6
Yeah.
in the regular season against Naby,
Wow.
and I think he had 2 hits in this World Series,
including that one.
including that one.
Wow, so not
And
a
a
good
handful
hit.
at bats. So listen, he's only going to get better seeing Naby, but it was clearly he wasn't putting his best swings on the ball.
But you know what?
against
In
Ney.
20 years, we'll remember it with Zilberman's walk-off
Yeah.
win. He got the job done. In a
For
day
sure.
where people couldn't find the grass, he found
found
it.
it.
You
He
know
found
what?
it.
It's true.
It was a pop-up. It was a bloop, but Saban had a bloop in game one.
Yeah,
Bloops
well,
are
it
part of
wasn't
the game.
pretty-
You
it
know
wasn't
what?
pretty, but it got the
effective,
job done.
very effective 2-run score.
Elsack said it. He goes, that's how I felt when Saban got his bloop.
Right.
He didn't want to hear that he only won because of
And
a bloop.
just a prequel now, whatever, I don't know the word, but the walks now. This is the
Yes.
only time that it came to bite. Naby pitched 6 shutout innings in a row, 5 through 10. But now those 2 walks in this inning, instead of it being 1-run scoring, it was 2. And now you look at the bottom of the 11th where they scored 1. The game could have been ongoing. And
Crazy.
again, you
They didn't
can't.
score. They held him at third.
They held him at
Yeah,
third.
they held Ali at third. They
Wow.
loaded the bases. But so they
He
starts
could have
off-
scored, though.
Right, could have scored.
If
They
it
were
was a
giving
one-run
They
game,
were
he
giving him the
scored.
run.
My
I was
bad.
surprised that you just don't
Yeah.
take it because maybe they stupidly throw home and you
Yeah.
get first and second.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a little too conservative by DR. But let's get to that inning.
But listen, with the
1, 2,
bloop,
3 coming up.
not a great hit, the bloop, but you put men on every single inning via walk, via
Yeah.
whatever.
I know.
I mean,
Well,
eventually someone's going to bloop it
eventually,
in.
yes.
It's hard to
Eventually,
blame
yes.
him, but yes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
now they have 1, 2, 3 coming up, though. If they're ever gonna do it, this is the time they're gonna do it. 1, 2, 3 coming up, and
Yeah.
Nutty hits a hard ball to Soroya in the hole, and
Hit
he
it
makes
well.
a great play.
Makes
Yeah.
a good
Makes
play
Makes a great play.
against a guy with speed.
Yeah, guy with speed in the hole.
Fires it.
Everything has to be perfect. Field it perfectly, footwork perfect, and a strong throw on target, and he makes the nice play.
The next play was
It was
even
a sick
better.
play. Sick play.
Orsano
Ripped
ripped
it,
that
crushed
ball
it.
to Henry.
But you see
Yeah.
Henry playing the right place
Yeah.
on the line, no doubles, no breathing room, and as hard as it's hit, it's right to him.
Yeah.
And Henry's such a professional; he's not gonna botch it.
And
he
that's
just makes
that's
the play.
that's the job description of a third baseman.
Right.
The hot corner.
Yes.
A
You
shot
know?
like that is what you do routinely. It's the other types of plays that are more difficult. But a hot shot to third
Yeah.
is what a good third baseman fields every time, and Henry's a great one.
You're so right, and we were talking about it at the top. He moved from short to third. It's a different position
Yeah.
completely.
Totally different.
That's the third base shot. He makes it. He puts his hand in the air. He's pumped. Now there's 2 outs, nobody on. They sort of feel like this game is over, but
Yep.
it's not. It's not.
You can't feel that way. It's natural to feel that way, but you can't feel that way. Ali single, Saban single,
Shalou
Ruby
single.
and they don't send Ali. I would have thought. I think I liked to send Ali there because maybe they're stupid enough to throw home. And if
Right.
they throw
Second and
home,
third.
now it's second and third.
But you know
But they
what?
don't. They're not going to throw home because I think they knew they were giving up the run. They came in second, so they didn't even send him. But I just didn't. It looked weird that they didn't try to score. Like when they're giving you a run, you take it.
Right.
You know.
It should be noted, 0 errors by the Big Red Machine in 2 games of
Wow.
20 innings.
Wow,
You want to
wow,
see
wow.
the Henry play off the base and the
No.
Alco one, the bloop off
No,
his
those
glove.
are scored hits. Those are
0
scored hits.
errors
Wow,
in
wow.
20 innings in the
Impressive.
World Series.
Yeah.
0.
But that's what you had to do because you give this team and their offense a little bit, and they take a lot. But then
But
they
this
get
is
the,
amateur softball. No one made an error.
Yeah.
Not one ground ball. Not one short center fielder. Not one first baseman. 0 errors. It's
But
incomprehensible.
now bases loaded. They're a hit away from going to the 12th inning.
Yeah.
Maybe Saban's on second, so they use their runner early.
Right.
And now Saban is their runner, and we're saying, can he score in a hit? Where does it have to be? He's got to be running, leave it almost a little early, make the umpire call you out.
I get what Z was saying.
Score.
I get what Z was saying and with our auditing, but I can't blame the use of the runner in the 9th inning.
No.
Okay,
Ninth inning.
so I just want to state one point. on the whiteboard show, not everything's correct, but on the whiteboard
Farka.
show, David Farka was all over the speed.
Yes.
And for how many years have we seen Saban in the 4-hole with the slotted runner?
Yes.
This team, there is no slotted runner.
Wow.
Huge.
Wow.
Huge.
Wow.
Because Saban hits 500 every year. So every time he's on base,
It's good.
why not have a Mo G or this guy
Mog,
or that
Mog,
guy,
please.
Mog? Be the base runner. Now, who are you going to have? Nay as the slotted runner? No. So they're forced to use it earlier, which costs them later.
Oh my God! So
Huge.
really, this goes back to draft day, and that could have been a nice little.
Listen, they're
tinkering-
laughing at us. They went 12-2, but
I hear you.
yeah,
but
these are the small things.
in the postseason is when you get the low scoring games.
Yeah.
No one wins except once in a while. No one wins 11-10 in the postseason. Although Mo Shama was reminding me today, he blew a 9-0 game. Were you in that team?
Yes. And then
You
we won
blew
game 5.
a 9-0 lead game
Game
4,
up
and then
2-1, and then won game 5.
and game
Holy
5 was the
cow.
same day.
Same day, right after.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
Okay. Now
And then Max Yedid makes one of the best pitches of the day and gets an infield pop-up to end the game.
Yeah.
Not even a threatening
Who
play.
was it again?
Shimmy.
Shimmy. Shimmy struggled offensively.
Oh,
Yeah.
Had a
Shimmy, I
tough
feel
series.
bad
He was
for
up in a
Shimmy
lot of big
because,
spots. He played great defensively, but he struggled offensively, and he was up in big spots.
And he had that
Spot.
little half swing earlier in the game
Yep.
with a chance to win.
Shimmy
that rolled into second
defensively
base.
is the best right fielder in the league.
He's awesome.
Between the arm, the coverage, and everything.
Yeah.
He
Unbelievable.
made so many nice plays this year, and okay.
But
Didn't
Now
come
we got
through.
another guy that had the World Series game on his bat, if he hits a gap, who's
Yeah.
the runner on
Yeah.
first? Ruby Shalou,
Yeah.
okay? If he hits a gap or he could tie the game, another
Forget a
guy.
gap. Forget a gap. They didn't get a big hit in 8
Correct.
innings now.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
Forget
But
the gap.
You have Sammy Soroya. Yeah, it was a bloop, but he's the one guy that came through with men on in this game.
Yeah.
And then we're exhausted. It's 1 o'clock in the
My
afternoon.
God, I could not believe that the game started at 10. I look at my phone. I said, okay, I probably got to check in now with my family, my life, my everyone.
Right.
And it's 1 o'clock. I could not believe that game went 3 hours long, but okay, it did.
My wife came here, you saw her on the video, and she's talking to me, and she's like, oh, what's the score? And then she's like, well, who won the other game? I said, no, this is
There
the
is
game.
no other game.
This is
Right,
the first game.
right.
She goes, what are you talking about? It's 1 o'clock.
Right. So many
Crazy.
people walking in, and we're like, you didn't miss anything. It's
Right.
tied. And there's
Only
Yeah.
Ralph Matute, who was waiting for game 4, he only had a ticket for game 4, only he appeared at game 4 first pitch. The whole place left,
Cleared
and
out.
he came.
It was an exodus. You had to
So,
see. It was
but
wild.
Now
And
they're
you can't
dead.
blame
They're
it,
dead.
that's
They're in the dumps. They're lifeless. After you blow that game, you had so many chances to walk off. You don't score. They start game 2 and they go down 1-2-3. Now they're the
Including
road team.
A catch around the foul pole.
Yeah.
A great
Nice
catch,
catch.
by Elsack.
He
Unbelievable
didn't run
catch.
into the pole.
No.
Very nice catch.
Really great catch. That area, I played left field this year.
Not easy.
Difficult to
Yeah.
navigate. I actually, played situations in my head. What am I going to do if a ball's hit there? And just a really great play. I mean, it could,
Again.
I think it was foul, but who knows?
It was foul.
Yeah.
But, Zach, you got to draft guys for positions.
Yes.
Elsack is not a right fielder. Bub and Shimmy are right fielders. Elsack is a left fielder.
Right.
and
Shimmy's
it's
not a
diff-
center fielder.
Right.
He's a right fielder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Elsack has played 100 games in left field. He could handle that play. He's a very good left
Yeah.
fielder. He's not flashy.
Great play.
But he knows the
He
position.
made a
and when-
ton of plays. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ton. And when
Most
you
of them
draft
layups, but
but
yeah.
Yeah.
but just outs.
In the right spot.
Max
he's
was pitching
positioned, he's
people
good.
in, and they was getting the lazy fly balls to left.
And when you draft, you can't just say, "Oh, I'll move this guy to left." It doesn't work. You got to get a guy for each position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up comes Bub. Barsano makes a great play to start the game to get Bub out.
It's insane.
Sick play.
Yeah, sick
He
play.
made so
Sick
many
play.
dazzlers, and then you just think back to the one he could just easily walk it home.
But
Hurts.
he taught me that the reason he learned everything and the mental part of the game is from his father,
Right.
Wow.
not from a coach. His father, if he sees that play, that he went to third, made a U-turn and ran to third instead of throwing home, his father's going to kill him.
Yeah.
His father's
It's a
going to
tough
kill
one.
him.
It's a tough one. Now this next play, Sammy Soroya gets a single.
Yeah.
He's dead at second
I
base.
know, they're crazy.
And the throw beats him.
Yes.
And he just didn't get it down.
Zvi,
Zvi did not get the tag down. Later on, he gets a tag down.
Yes.
But right now, he does not get the tag down, and we're auditing. It's
Auditing.
a big play.
You catch
He
the
cannot-
ball.
He's gonna run into an out. It's an out.
Yep.
You got to get the tag down.
as it's different because I was a catcher, but sometimes you don't. When the
His
ball's coming
footwork
from
is
right, you
wrong.
don't see the
He's
guy.
not straddling the bag the right way, where he's turning and blind.
Right.
You got to have your
Slapping
chest to the home plate to where you're catching and you're right there.
Right, and if the guy is somewhere else, then you'll adjust.
Right,
But you don't
right.
catch it up here, then
catching
look.
it facing the outfield and then
Right.
turning and trying to find the runner.
As good
you
as
get
he was all year and in this series
Right.
and everything.
So
that
you
was
get
a bad
you
play.
get
You get
a
a guy
ground
second
out
base.
by Elsack now.
Yeah.
And they choose to intentionally walk
Yeah.
Hollywood to face an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Hollywood, you know, he's gotten some hits, and he's gotten some hits in the first innings of the
Hollywood's
other games.
been incredible.
He's so
But
good.
He's been so good.
He's so good.
And they face Charles, and they probably get what they wanted. Broken bat, blooper. But you know what? The bloops have been killing them.
I called
the
it.
bloops have been killing them, and they say you kept saying it. Another bloop, another bloop. But
Insult
you
to
know,
injury. that you-
RBI bloop, and they take the lead, and now they're up 1 after winning Game 3, and you know.
The
You think
Sammy
maybe they're going to
bloop-
run away with
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
The Sammy bloop was 15 minutes before this
Wild.
bloop. This is just insult to injury that you score the first run via a bloop, and this was a real old-fashioned bloop. That's all you could call it. And then they're up 1-0 off to the races. This game, this was the game that was for 3 or 4 innings. Seemed like a regular season game on the racetrack. It was going through the motions. Because of the emotions from game 3.
Yeah, the amount
to
of
catch
energy
your
that you
bearings
pour
and to digest what just happened. You're not going to do it in between games when you have 15 minutes.
No.
It needed so it took almost the first 3, 4, 5 innings even.
Yeah.
I almost thought till the 5th before the intensity picked back up.
Yeah.
But Sabon gets out to lead the inning. Ruby Shalou, who's been hitting, gets a nice hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
had a nice
then
day.
a
DH,
pop up,
DH.
and now Bernie comes up out of nowhere. If you would have almost as unlikely, like we were saying, Yogi had a likeliness. He was hitting the ball hard all day.
Yeah.
Almost as unlikely of a triple as you're gonna feel. The vibes were, almost
Crazy.
who's up for Big Red in the next inning. I'm trying to look who's coming up, and all of a sudden we get a ball to the fence.
I was
off of the
caught-
bat of Bernie.
So off guard when this guy hit that ball like that. I was not even fully paying attention. It came out of nowhere. He hit a triple that maybe could have been a home run. I don't know if he was running. I have no idea, but
No,
it
he was running. I watched the video. He
Yeah?
was running. It's a
Bomb.
And
triple.
again, with
bombed it.
2 outs, though, I wonder if you're a little bit aggressive. You know that Shimmy hasn't gotten a hit in the 4 games since the series started. He's been great all year for you. You know, as much as we show the highlights of Sammy Soroya throwing runners out, there's been plays he's thrown the ball out of play.
Yeah.
You want to make a guy make a throw to, and push the limits. At least let him round it and see where the throw goes. They
Meanwhile-
just pull him up at third, and
I
now
thought-
he makes a great. Eshko makes a great play to end the
Another
inning.
play by
Great play
Eshko.
to end the inning. I mean, it was not a great hit. It was a slow roller, but almost like Sammy Soroya. You hit it in the right spot,
Yeah.
and it's a in between ball, first and second. Eshko makes a great play,
Great play.
just to get Shimmy by a nose, and they don't score that second run to take the lead.
That's a tough throw. Like you said, it's not a hard play to field, but now you're in front of first when you're fielding it, and you got to turn and throw it. For a second baseman, it's a little awkward. Eshko up to the task, makes the play. I mean, I thought Shimmy was hitting in games 1 and 2. I don't know his stats. I thought games 1 and 2 he looked okay. Today he went 0 for 8 on this day.
Wow.
Okay.
Couple
bottom,
of big spots too.
Bottom
More than a
2,
couple.
Henry gets a hit to start it off.
Yogi the double
Play, and then a fly out to left.
by Sabag yet again.
Yes.
Another fly out to left.
Top 3, we got 9 and 10 get out.
Nutty,
Nutty
a
comes
single.
up, gets a single, and Barsano gives it a good ride.
I wrote
but
deep here, yeah.
Deep fly ball. But they're playing him deep. You're a one-trick pony. Where do you think they're playing you? They're gonna play you deep, and even when you hit it good, they're gonna catch those balls. You got to split a gap. You got to hit a line, or you got to hit it hard on the ground. And he wasn't able to do that this series.
Another
and they don't
opportunity.
get their guys up really in consecutive with threatening
insane.
ways.
Another
insane.
opportunity if he just gets a single. You have alley up with men on. Like it's crazy how many times alley led off innings or was up with
and
nobody
you talk
on.
about walking Hollywood for MVP candidate Charles. Nutty and Barsano got to get on for probably the likely MVP alley.
Yeah, you got-
I mean,
they-
the guy
they
got
only
up
did
so
it-
many chances. So many times he got up, empty bags.
Nobody
2 outs,
on.
1 out.
They did
nobody
it
on.
later on in the series. They did it once, and we'll get to it. And they figured out a way to screw it up.
Yeah.
But
you know, they just like you said, they weren't able to set the table. And another thing we went to the whiteboard show is who is
Leading
the leadoff
off.
batter on this
Great,
team?
great.
Barker,
Who
baby.
is the
Barker's
leadoff
so
batter
good.
on
Love
this
it.
team? Because as much as Nutty was on fire early, he was a home run hitter. You know, they never had the guy who could draw a walk. Bub was not a great leadoff hitter getting hits,
Right.
but he had a walk here. He had a walk there. He was able to, you know, set the table. He was able to constantly put pressure, good at bats. The second half of the season, Nutty was not effective. He hit his 6th home run was a dropped fly ball by Ellie Race.
In week
Gave him
3.
the record.
In week 3.
No way, really?
Maybe
Yes.
week 4.
So
Maybe
nothing in
four.
week 5, 6, or
But
7?
then he didn't. Look at his stats from week 5, 6, and 7. He didn't
he
do
was
nothing.
hitting 650,
He was hitting 650. He
running
ended up-
away with the MVP, and I don't
didn't
even
do
know if he
anything
made the
since
ballot.
Then, you know, he made the ballot. He slugged. He maybe led the league in slugging. So it just shows how hot he was early. But he just was not a. They didn't have the leadoff hitter.
Wow.
They didn't have the leadoff hitter, and it hurt them because they couldn't set the table for Ali.
Saban loves the guy that can hit a home run,
Right.
but you can't draft all of them. You need positions, and he had a great defense,
Now-
but you need a leadoff guy, you need situational guys, you need it all, and it showed.
Maybe again in the third, he's cruising again. You know, the beginnings of both games, he gave up that 2-out hit in the first inning to give up a run. But now he goes 1, 2, 3 in the top in the bottom of the third.
Eshko, Bub,
And-
Sammy, all week,
Right.
I wrote.
All week 10-1-2. That's something that, you know, you're looking at Big Red. That's their 10-1-2, try to get out, do something, and they go 1, 2, 3.
Big Red was willing to lose this game. They were not. It
Right,
looked like
they
a
were
regular
not locked
season
in. They
game.
were not locked
You know
in.
what? Again,
They didn't step on their throats by any
goes
means.
back to Max Yadid and the credit that he deserves. And
This
you
is
know
where
what?
he
That's
won
why
the
he, yes,
MVP.
that's why he is
Because
the
he
World
didn't let
Series
his team
MVP.
just
Great
get
point.
the game out of control.
Correct.
So-
and Naby,
He wasn't willing to lose the game.
Naby giving up 2-out hits and whatever. Okay, Naby will sign for that 1 run here. The team that scores 10 runs on average a game
Yeah.
came up, you know, completely empty-handed, and the credit goes to Max because he never wavered. He stayed locked in. He was a man on a mission, and it showed right here in this slow point of the game
Right.
where could have gone either way. This is
Yes.
what it's out there
Here
for
you
the
go.
taking,
You have-
and Max took it.
Right.
Such a great
but
point.
right
That's such
now-
a great point because this game, their offense was checked out and exhausted and sweaty. Midday, it's 1:45 in the afternoon now.
And Max pitched for 4 hours already.
Yeah.
You would think he's hittable now. And, you know, someone else on 12 Commandments said he was just putting it right in there. But,
No, he wasn't.
yeah,
So
I don't
he
think
really
so.
You
wasn't.
have Ali now leads off with a single.
Yes.
Saban gets out. Does not move the runner. Ruby Shalou
Got
splits a
tight.
gap.
This guy got on
Got a
every
lot
time.
of hits. Lot of
Yeah,
hits.
he had a big day.
You know,
Wow.
He was the only
you know,
one
They weren't willing
to
to
hit.
move their lineup, but I would have loved to see, you know, Ali maybe bat 1 and Ruby 2. I don't know,
Yeah.
you know, in hindsight.
Put him in the
but he
2-hole.
splits a gap. But the big play on the splitting of the gap that I noticed was Sammy Soroya doesn't throw home. He almost has a shot at Ali.
Really?
And he always throws home, but he doesn't throw home and he doesn't allow Ruby to go to third.
Wow,
He
great
keeps
point.
Ruby at second. And I said right away, wow, that's big, not letting the runner go to third with 1 out only, keeping him at second. And, you know,
Find a way to wiggle out.
yeah, they get a strikeout and a fly out, and they don't give up a run. But, you know, if they could have scored a run with an out, you know, that whole inning's different.
Wow.
Instead, they go out, they're down 2-1, but it's only 2-1.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a big Max Yadid item is minimize their bags. And, you know, it's
Right.
it's a good
Now, you mentioned it in
proof
the,
right
in the,
there.
in
Yeah.
the previous games of 12 Commandments coming right back. Now we have, you know, an inning where Big Red Machine comes right back.
Elsack.
Elsack, single.
First pitch. Bang.
Hollywood, walk.
Great.
Charles, single.
Held him at
Bases
third.
loaded.
Yes.
Good hold.
Good hold.
Good hold. Bases loaded. And now we
Alco.
get a deep sack fly. Everybody tags.
Everybody.
Everybody tags. That's a weird, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know
you
how they
don't
let
see
that
it.
happen, but everyone's tagging, and now we have second and third.
They actually threw to second,
but
but
it was
the throw
way
was off.
offline,
Yeah.
way offline.
And in a World Series game, these things
Those
matter.
are the things that matter.
And Charles, if you look at the first base angle, he read the throw. He wasn't for sure going.
Right.
He wasn't going to run into
Saw
his
it
out
offline
running.
and continued.
And he took it.
And
Now-
great job by Charles. But Norma, one quick thing I want to jump in and say, you mentioned no errors in 20 innings for Big Red. I'm not too sure that 12 Commandments had an error either on the
Right.
day. but they had a couple of mental errors that loomed large. You go back to the Barsano play, the throw to second. There's a couple more later in the game. It was the mental errors that were the difference because they played a pretty clean game.
I don't remember an error from them either.
They had
Crazy. I don't know if they had one.
They had with all the walks. When you're battling through walks, you got to pick up your pitcher by making these plays. But now we're going to talk about a great play. A ground ball to Svi. He comes up firing to the plate when it's not a force.
Yep.
And Lewis makes a great tag and a great catch. And Hollywood with the head first slide. A lot of action around the plate. But a play when they needed it the most. And their season's on the line right now. And the rookie to the veteran,
and
the youngest guy maybe to the oldest guy, makes a tremendous play.
A to Z,
and they keep it at 2-2.
And I rewatched that play a couple times.
Yeah.
Svi, just because of the play at the plate, but I also noticed that Svi was so calm, cool, and collected. Like he's been there 1,000 times. He was in slow motion that he made that play, and it's just a credit to him. You know, that's really all it is. Just a credit to him.
He has always been like that. He is a very clutch player. I said it when everyone was asking me about all the rookies. I said he's clutch. He will win you a game. He will not be phased
DR
by the
Jr.,
moment.
you know?
He's DR's clone. You remember how clutch DR was. He was always clutch.
Right.
I remember him from the Expos, but the years before that and after that, he always came through in the big moments. He was one of these guys that, like a Mocas.
Yeah.
Don't wake me up in week 2. Wake me up in week 6, and I'll get you the big hit. But rounds out, but at least it was to second base.
Right.
Great play by Svi. Great tag at the plate.
And Nabi strikes out Yogi.
Yeah.
So that's a guy who's coming up, who's hot, who's doing everything, and there's runners on.
Pat
and
on
he,
his shoulder.
and he strikes
Paint to
him
the
out.
corner.
Paint
By the
to
way,
corner.
I think that's the at-bat that Yogi almost he laced the double that was fouled by an inch on the right field line.
Yes.
He laced it, would have broken the game open. But to show you how checked out Big Red was at this moment, I watched these highlights with them at their barbecue the other night. Not one guy, including Eshko, including Abe Holly, who slid home, not one guy remembered the play. They said, you took this play from an alternate game and put it in this highlight. This never happened. We didn't have second and third and grounded out the second.
Wow.
Never happened. Not one guy remembered this play.
Right, that's the joys of winning right there.
Crazy.
Just every mistake goes out the window. It doesn't matter.
Out the window.
Now they go 1-2-3. They go 1-2-3. It's tie game and they don't take the lead. The Commandments go 1-2-3, and now Big Red's back up with the top of the order looming, and the tie game. And what does Nabi do? He walks the bug.
I went nuts when he walked him. I almost couldn't say the words how unacceptable that walk was in this game.
Yeah.
You just woke up Big Red for no reason here, but
he gets a fly out to right. Eshko again. Now he gets the fly out. You get your banded fly out when the guy can advance, and then Bub flies out to right, and to left, and Ruby. This is time Svi does get the tag down. He tags, and Ruby makes a great throw, and Svi gets the tag down, and now double play and momentum. Come on, let's go.
Ruby has a good arm in left. I never really knew, but
very
there's been
strong
a
and
few
accurate.
plays.
And we move to the top of the 6th again. Top of the order coming up for the Commandments. If not now, when?
Right.
And they kind of answered the call. Nutty with the walk. We've been asking for him to get on by hook or by crook, and he gets the leadoff walk. And now Barsano comes up and laces a single. So they finally get the 2 guys on to set the table. First and second. Alley's coming up. And he hits a ball in no man's land. It's a hit, and it's a hit to where it's not right at anybody. They got to run to it. I'm not sure Barsano got the greatest read. He wasn't just going on contact. The ball
was very weird
It was
because
floated, and he kind of waited for it to make sure that no one was going to catch it, and then his mind was made up. I'm going to third. His mind was made up. I'm going to third, and he's almost at third. It's such a crazy play because he's almost at third when Soroya catches the ball. But Soroya, with no hesitation, just turns and fires a seed to Henry's glove, and Barsano slides into the glove, into his knee, collision, and terrible. But you can't make that. You got to be safe.
You got to be safe.
You got to be safe.
No, you got to be
you
safe.
Gotta be
the
safe.
ball was in the gap.
You gotta be safe. You can't make that first out at third when your team hasn't scored and you finally get the first two guys on the alley gets the hit. You gotta be safe.
And you know what? I thought on Barsano's hit, there was no reason Nutty shouldn't have been on third.
Right.
And it just changes the inning again. And then Barsano's on second from that.
Right.
So now it's a no doubter that they scored 2 there.
What a great team play, and Bub told me this about Sammy all year. He goes wherever my throw goes, because we know Bub's throws.
Yeah.
Like, you know anyway.
Very important that he's getting that cutoff.
Goes and
No, but
finds
you know
it.
what?
Yeah, for him to get over
going
there.
hustling
All
to
year.
go get that cutoff. Yeah,
all year.
You're right.
And then he turns and throws a one-hopper, and Henry
Perfect.
fields the ball, takes the cleat, gets the tag,
and holds on.
Tough.
and holds
And
on.
you know what? For just to jump in from a shortstop, I tell my fielders all the time, second and third base, the second that the right fielder has to turn their body to go get the ball, that's when I'm taking the cut, not
Really?
you. A basic single right in front of the right fielder, no problem. But when he's turning, that means extra bases. I want to be the one with the ball in my hands to gun him out.
Smart.
And you know what? You look on the video, Sammy fields the ball, he turns, he looks first, and he sees that he has Barsano, then he makes a throw. There's no reason it should have been like that. Barsano should be sliding. Sammy checked thinking like, I'm not even making the throw here. And he saw I had him. Okay,
Great
let me
throw.
fire. Great throw, great tag.
But
done.
they take the lead 3-2, and now Saban gets a big hit, 4-2.
Right.
4-2.
Game is over in my eyes.
Should easily be 5.
Yes.
Should be.
Yes, but I'm not auditing in real time yet because this game is over. Big Red's offense is checked out.
Right.
Keep going.
They walk Ruby.
Right.
DH force out. Pin deck fly out. But
DH
that was
6-5.
Max had 2 walks on the day. You were noting it. They were both in that inning.
Jimmy,
Right.
Mr.
He walked-
Nahas
he walked
McGee,
Nutty.
he said 16 innings today. Maxie D did
He
a walk a
walked Nutty
guy.
to lead off the inning, and then
That
he walked.
next
But
pitch.
right there, it's 4-2, and you're almost thinking that's the inning where they scored 5 runs.
Yeah, because
They
DH
only
grounded
get
out
2.
to short,
Crazy.
and he got the out at third.
Right.
He got that lead
Right.
runner at third. It was
Exactly.
a nice play.
They only get that, and now bottom of the 6th. We got a fly out by Soroya. This is the inning that they're thinking if they're going to threaten. It's this inning. The game's not over yet. It's 4-2 only.
Saul
but
said
they
it.
have the top of the order. This is the heart. They get Soroya with a fly out. Elsack with a ground out. I like the Hollywood single with 2 outs, nobody on, because it pushes the lineup.
Yeah.
Right.
And now Charles with a ground out. I don't got to see Charles in the 7th.
Right.
I got bottom of the order coming up. and
Great.
Whatever
You got,
it is, it's
Sabag
4-2.
and,
What's my plans for Sunday? Who's batting what? What am I doing
Exactly.
with the lineup?
That's how
You know?
everyone felt. Everybody.
But why? It's such a season where the comebacks were so obvious, and people were coming back from crazy deficits. It was only 2, but it felt like it was insurmountable because Navy wasn't giving up runs.
Yeah.
Even though he was getting in a lot of trouble.
They were coasting.
Runs were tough, and they almost felt like they were coasting. I thought they were coasting.
Yeah.
We were joking around, you know. I picked them to win in 5. It's still alive, you know.
Yep.
And
That's why if you just see the score, you're like, oh yeah, 4-2. Of
Right.
course they could come back, but
they
didn't feel like
but
that.
they went now a quiet top of the 7th. I hate that 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it almost you gotta threaten. You gotta make them feel a little bit of pressure in that inning, to where maybe you get an insurance run or something. But to go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's like you go from the bottom of the 6th direct to the bottom of the 7th, and it's like you're stringing it
Yes.
together. It's like there's no breakup. It's like we were just there, we were just seeing the pitches, now we're at it again, and like, okay, we could do it.
Right.
Correct. Very
Bottom
quick inning.
Of the 7th.
Al
goes
ground
up.
out.
Ground out. Terrible walk to Henry. We talk about it.
Yep.
The guy takes the
Bad
first
one.
pitch. He's giving you.
It's 0-1.
You know,
It's
usually
0-1.
you got 4 balls to throw 3 strikes. You're giving you a strike.
He told me when they were watching the
You know,
highlights,
it's just-
he was not swinging till he had 2 strikes,
Right.
no matter what.
Right, well,
He goes, I
because
didn't get
that's. I mean,
speed.
I think a guy like him, a guy like Bub, those type of guys in this spot, you're not the tying run.
Right?
You just got to get on to prolong the inning, to move the line up, to hope to try to flip the order. But, he walks him a terrible walk. Now Yogi comes up. We're standing in right field. Had a perfect view for this. Ali, the ball gets hit, and Ali just running to the spot. He's not looking at the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruby Shalou is looking at Ali. He's not running for the ball. He's watching Ali charging out to the outfield, and he's not commanding to go get the ball. He's the left fielder. Go get the ball. It's your ball.
Yes.
But Ali's running out so hard, and Ali runs past the ball.
Yes.
The ball lands behind Ali. If Ali looks up and he's looking here, and the ball almost hits him in the back because he wasn't tracking the ball. He was running. He knew he had to hustle to the spot, but he never did a glance of where the ball was.
Wow.
If he just turned,
so
the
just,
ball's gonna.
Yeah,
Ali
it's
can
right
make
there.
the play.
For sure.
Ali can make that play.
I don't think off the bat Ali
But-
thought he was going to get
Right.
there. I think he thought that, okay,
But
this is Ruby
he went after it
Shalou's
so
ball. I got
hard that Ruby didn't call it. Maybe he's just not. Ali's the alpha. I don't know, but it's Ruby's ball. Ruby's got to be more aggressive and calling it. But knowing
sure.
that, Zach and Soroya make that play from short because
Yeah.
they make that play. You don't,
facing home.
Yeah,
We're
you-
making
you
that.
turn around.
And Reese and Abe Haber make
Right,
the play
right.
from
There's
left.
right fielders who make that play,
Yeah.
and there's shortstops who make that play. And it was just a tough time to not make the play. And
Bloop, another bloop.
Is that an error?
Another
That
bloop.
could be there an error.
It's not
I
an
don't
error.
know.
It's not an error because it was a tough play. And
Right.
he didn't touch it, and he didn't even notice it. And now Sabag, your guy comes up, and we're saying he hasn't gotten a hit. I'm sitting there with Stevie Shalom, and he's just, why put Ruby up?
I
Put
couldn't
Ruby up. Why they
believe you let
batting this
him
guy?
bat. Yeah.
And he
I
gets
still
a
don't
hit.
agree with it.
And he gets a hit up the middle.
Beautiful
to the
hit.
point where, a beautiful hit.
Bases
only
loaded.
hit,
I
only
know.
real hit of the
Beautiful
inning.
hit,
But
bases loaded.
I know you guys are saying the whole time that, like, you can't walk Sabag, you can't walk Sabag. All he does is fly out. I can't watch this anymore. But you look back, maybe walk Sabag twice prior. Maybe he's thinking, like, okay, I really can't walk this guy again. Let me give him an absolute cookie.
Yeah, but that's if
And
all
then
of a
he
sudden
did
you're
it.
telling me Naby's scared of walking people, he walked 15 guys.
Right.
He can't be scared to walk the guy and say, what got you here is not you got out of the trouble, you got into trouble.
Right.
You got to pitch the guy hard.
But you
can't
got
give
to
the guy a
assume
chance.
his clubhouse is telling him, dude, stop
Yeah,
walking
I
this
know,
guy.
but-
He's
but-
batting
but-
zero.
But
Yes, batting
yeah,
zero.
but I hear you. So
Okay.
he gets the big hit and loads the bases. Now Eshko hits the ground ball to first. I'm fine with Saban stepping on first.
He's up 4-2.
But then don't throw it home at all. Why are you throwing it home to throw it away? And if that goes out of play, the run scores because the
Game's
guy's starting
over.
at second.
And the game's
So
over.
how are you throwing the ball home there? If you're going to throw the ball home at all, and then you want to keep the 2-lead cushion, then just field it and throw it home. It's an easy throw home.
Yeah.
Saban can throw. He's
Yep.
not, he had plays. I had a ball to him. He threw across the diamond on first.
Yes.
He threw to third. He's not afraid to throw.
He can throw.
So if you want to throw, there's no play at home. It's an easy out. But if once you commit to stepping on the bag, there's no throw. It's eat it.
He
But
sort of
I
hesitated
almost-
on the
you know
throw
what?
Yeah, it
almost.
looked a little like not
So
smooth.
one run scores, and now the ball goes away, and it's second and third. And now you lose the series.
And now,
That's
Bob-
why I almost didn't like. I almost say even though you're up 2, you go home right away because that man on first is the winning run.
yeah,
And once you commit, there's very little chance you're throwing you're getting the guy out after you step on the base. But you just want to get, even if you throw to second, even if you just want to keep that winning run off of scoring position.
Yeah.
So I almost, you can't blame the guy for doing an easy step, but I hate having. I started to feel the pressure. Bub's coming up. The winning run is at second base. I
Bub
started to
has
feel
a
the pressure there.
chance on his bat right now.
Again. How many times have you
second and
said that
third.
line? This guy has had the
crazy.
chance on his bat.
On his bat.
Insane.
But Bub's in the bottom of the inning to win the World Series, not with a gapper, with that same base
Yeah.
that he's done his whole life.
Yeah.
A base hit to right center, a base hit to left center, a base hit up the middle, anything.
Yeah.
A base hit, you win the World Series. I mean, people would pay to be
He
up
would
in
li-
that
that-
opera.
Or-
it's almost too good for Bub. He would live for that moment.
Yeah.
It would be free
Or-
drinks and
He may have
autos the rest of his
exploded.
life.
Or
Never had to
or
pay for another
he,
drink
or
at
he
the
gets
mix.
out, and we're looking at a game 5.
Right.
Right.
So it's either end of the
And
spectrum.
He hits a ball 11 feet. 11 feet. The first hop might have hit the plate. It goes straight down. I'll tell you, I watched it 100 times trying to say, Naby, stay on your feet and field the ball, but I think
couldn't.
he did a great job
Yes,
to
yes.
get it with his bare hand.
He bare hand dove and
He
got it.
dove and got
Crazy.
it, and now this is where you want to audit. You want to go through with a fine-tooth comb. Could he sit up a little bit more and make a better throw to first? Could he just throw it hard, an 8-hopper to first? But he has the guy's
The guy
running
on
home.
second.
The guy's running home.
Yeah,
He has
yes.
the out at the plate, and it's 1 foot away from him.
And-
if you're running on contact to a ball to the pitcher, I know it's a tag play, but Zvi threw a ball from short center, and it's right there. He just has to throw it 6
And you know
feet
who that
to his
runner
father.
was?
Jake Yogi.
Jake
Yogi!
Right, he's not.
With his
All he
big
has to do.
butt walking
It's not
around.
even a play at the plate. It's a tag up the line.
Yeah.
All he has to do is throw it home, and we've seen the last out of games at home, and it would have been but it's the easier play. At that point, it's hard because you can't premeditate a comeback or I'm going home. But if I know if I have to dive, am I getting Bub at first, running up the line, or am I just, he's right there, he's running into an out.
You can't premeditate it
It's
because
almost
it's
gotta
2
be-
outs.
Right, but maybe it's like Lewis.
Play
yeah,
first.
Play
four,
2
four,
outs,
four.
play
Right.
first.
Lewis has got to see that and read it. But that's the out. The out on that
Or-
play is at home. He doesn't have him at
Yeah.
first.
Or does
Even if he sits up, even
Yeah.
if he did
Say
everything.
he didn't
you
have
said,
him. He made,
no.
you know, he didn't
Or
have
does
him at
He did
first.
all that he
Barsano,
could.
does Barsano call him off on the dive
Have a better
and
chance
he have a
coming
chance
across.
And then
to gun
gun it.
Bub out at first
Maybe.
with his arm?
He was closer to
Yes,
it than I
yes.
thought originally.
But you got to be screaming, knee.
Right.
You got to be screaming for that if you see a pitcher about to do
But
what maybe
it's
he's
too
about
hard.
to
It's
do.
instinct for Ney. It's like it's like the ball was hit, he was forward, and he just dove
And
right
Sabon
away.
didn't catch the ball.
By the way, Yogi was so dead at the plate that if Ney threw it home, Yogi may have even had a chance to walk back to third.
Maybe.
That's how dead he was.
Yes.
And now Soroya comes up and hits a ground ball to the pitcher and ends the inning. I thought
Soroya
maybe
has
he's
a
going to win it. Now
chance
he has a chance to win
To
games.
become a legend
Yeah.
with a real hit this time
Real hit,
and
and he
win
did.
the World Series
Yeah.
for your team. Imagine that
Yeah.
on your back.
Wins those 2 games and those 2 hits. He hit over 500 for the playoffs. You almost have to say Max pitched great, but Soroya is the shortstop. You threw the guy at third. This is his chance to really win the MVP.
You could play 30 years and never have an at-bat where if you get a hit, you win the World Series.
Nope.
Not win a game. You win the World Series.
Yep.
And we named a bunch of guys that had that opportunity
Yep.
for Big Red in this game, including Bub, including Sandy Soroya. It
And
is
Sandy, our
crazy.
historian, could only name 2 in the last 50 years of
Now
league,
we have-
and these guys had 12
We
opportunities
go to the
do
top
it.
of the 8th.
Shockingly.
I would say that everyone's a little deflated on the 12 commandments, but they have 1, 2, and 3 coming up.
Nutty a fly out.
Barsano a ground out, and now I'm standing in right field, and Hollywood is roaming the third base coaching box, even though his team's not up.
Yes,
And he just goes, Elsack, move in,
he did.
move in. And he moves Elsack in, and Ali hits a triple over Elsack's head. And me and the boys out there, we couldn't believe it. And
were
he
there
didn't-
any
he
outs?
couldn't even
2
speak.
outs.
He didn't,
Okay, so-
he didn't speak to Elsack. He relayed the message through the fans. Tell Elsack to move in. and Elsack took a few steps in, and Ali goes right over his head for a triple.
And you know what? How many times have we said it in the last show and then this show? You gotta get on base. Nutty
gotta
and
get on base.
Barsano.
One guy, give him a
The guy,
chance.
Ali, hit a triple.
Crazy.
And nobody's on for him for the 12th time in the series. Get on base, get a single, work a walk, do something.
Yep.
And Ali came through, and that should be,
I didn't realize how good Ruby was hitting on this day when they elected to pitch to Sabon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
said
didn't
it. You got-
realize.
You got it, but I mean, it worked out. But if it doesn't work out, no one wants to hear how great Ruby Shalou's
Nobody.
hitting.
Nobody.
So you're taking, it takes guts to win it all, and it takes feel. And I'm sure, things changed from when they spoke about this on Thursday night. We're never pitching to Sabon to now Ruby's getting hits, and what
And
Max
you
feels
called him
comfortable.
crazy on the live.
And
But
I
yeah,
left it in
yeah,
there
'cause-
because I thought
And
it
it
was
is
a crazy
crazy.
move.
Yeah,
It's
because
still
you know what? If
crazy.
it gets the blue pit and he gets a hit there, you're all saying, "What are you doing?" If this goes to another game, how could you ever pitch to Sabon?
It's Michael Mount, Sabon Solomon.
Crazy.
It's just unthought of to
But he
pitch
gets
to
a
him there.
ground
Every
out to
pitcher-
Soroya, and they're coming off, and he's screaming, "I told you, listen to me, trust me," or
Yep.
whatever he's saying.
Every pitcher in the world would
unbelievable.
say, I want to pitch to him, I want to pitch to him, but you would only listen to someone like Yedid or Nabi are the only ones that you would even allow to go after him, and the gamble pays off.
Bottom 8, again, they say Elsack ground out, Hollywood fly out, Charles single to right, Alco
gotta go.
fly out. So again, not a 1-2-3 inning. They get a guy on, but basically nothing. Top of the 9th, 1-2-3. Ruby Shalou, who leads off, 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Henry gets a nice hit in between short center and Ali. Ali dives off a glove, beats it out. Henry's gutting it out. Gutty performance, hurting, battling, stitches, knee, ankle, everything bothering him. Drawing walks, getting hits, gets a big hit. And now Yogi comes up, and my father says the 3-1 pitch was high. My father's claiming that 3-1 pitch was ball 4.
So did Sammy Saka. So did all of
you
Big
know,
Red.
It was ball 4, and the umpire calls him back and says, right here, it's 3-2, calls it a strike, and now this pitch is really high. It's even higher than the 3-1 pitch. Like, he
Yogi's
gets on
upset,
top of
which
it.
is why you see him doing the timeout, like in the
Right,
iconic
right.
film now. He's doing the timeout because he's
He has
mad.
to mentally prepare for this pitch that he thinks he
Exactly.
should be on first and
that
second.
you just screwed me.
Right.
Instead, he gave you the biggest play ever, and there's
And he
nothing to
hits
talk about. This is a bomb.
walk-off, bomb, triple, home run, great hustle by Henry, but just once it lands, it's game over.
It's
You know,
crazy.
It's
you know,
crazy, and it's arguably the biggest, most clutch hit
You could ever have.
you could ever have that we remember in our era.
It's beyond.
It's insane.
It's beyond.
Looking back at the season now, just a few crazy stats that I've been able to pull up that are part of the auditing. In the regular season, the 12 Commandments had 9 guys hit over 400. In the
It's the
playoffs,
whole team.
they had 3. Ruby Shalou hit 500.
Good.
Saban hit 429, and Ali hit 400 on the
The
nose.
3 you would have guessed.
They had 4 guys under 300.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All 11 guys in the regular season hit over 385. All 11 batters that they
Wow.
had. All 9 guys they had 10 plus RBIs. 9 guys had 10 plus RBIs, and 9 guys had 10 runs scored. They were a plus 62 in run differential.
Crazy.
They had 7 guys with 20 hits.
Oh, that's
They
nuts.
had
That's
9
the
guys.
craziest one of
They
all.
had 9 guys who slugged over 600.
Ridiculous.
In the playoffs, they only had 2 guys slug over 600, and they had 6 guys in the regular season slug over 700. In the playoffs, they only had 1. They had 30 more runs scored than BRM. They had in 16 games prior to the World Series, 16 games, they had 23 innings where they scored 3 runs or more.
Oh my God.
23 innings. In the
Wow.
4 games against BRM, they had
Zip.
0.
0. They barely scored 2 in an
In
inning.
15 out of the 16 games before the World Series, they scored 8 runs. 8 runs was they had 1 game they scored 4 against Stratton Oak Mountain. It was the only game all season up before the World Series where they were held under 8. They played BRM twice in the regular season. They scored above 8. They scored in this series 2, 3, 3, and 4. And they never scored more than 2 runs in an inning.
Unbelievable
Wild.
stats.
Wow. Thank you,
BRM
Jack. That is good.
BRM, the clutch hitting when they needed it, the pitching, the flawless defense. I mean, we found 1 or 2 bad throws in 4 games. I mean,
Crazy.
just absolutely incredible.
The IRS got to hire Jack after that. That auditing was,
Unbelievable audit
insane.
that was. Wow.
By the way, it's a credit to Max again, credit to the BRM defense again. Those stats that you threw out is like the opposite of swimming. Like swimming was the ultimate defensive.
Right.
You know, you could go through it. The amount of times we gave up more than 3 runs is like 1. We were never down by 3. This is like the offensive version of that.
But I
they
think
didn't
it's
finish it off.
harder to duplicate. You know, it's harder to carry over that hot offense from 10 guys through 20 games.
Right.
Whereas swimming, if you're a great defensive team, but you almost said, like, you know what? They were also a great defensive team and a great pitching team, and they didn't give up a lot of runs, but they just couldn't do it. They didn't do it. You know, like you said, they had 1 guy hit over 500 and 3 guys hit over 400, when all year they were getting contributions from 10, 11 guys. Whoever they were putting in the lineup was hitting. When
Insane.
Naby was up, he was hitting.
Yeah.
When he wasn't up, the other guys were hitting. You know, and they didn't slug. Even when they hit singles. So the guys who hit, they had 1 guy slug over 600. You know, they were known for the cricket inning. You know, against us,
Yeah.
they didn't play great maybe, but they were able to score 5 at will. If you give them 14 chances, they're going to score 3 in an inning. They're going to score 5
There
in
was
an
one
inning.
inning against
And
us
they didn't.
in
They
week
scored
2
9,
that I
right?
think
9 or
they
10.
maybe hit 12 hits in a row, and it was like insane. There's like
And
there's nothing
they-
we could do
Ma-
about
you know,
this.
Credit to Max,
Deal
credit
school,
to
yeah.
the BRM defense for
Yeah.
making the plays when they
And
had
credit
to.
their vibes. They
Yeah.
were all on the same page, never pointed pictures. They put their chips on the table and said, we want this more than anything else in the world. they were
And
vocal
you,
about
you
it.
pointed it out a few times. BRM, a bunch of lifers.
Yeah.
You know, 12 Commandments on the other side. Okay, you had Ali and Saban, who are the ultimate lifers, but you got to question, did the other guys understand the moment? Did they get a little tight? Did they haven't been there before. Who's been there other than Shimmy and Ali
That's
and
what
Saban?
made me pick Big Red.
Yeah.
I saw
Great
a team
analysis
of
by you.
Henry, Bub, Hollywood, all these guys that are in this league forever. I think it matters when things are tight. It doesn't matter when you're scoring 10 runs. It matters when it's 3-2.
I hear, but it was such a thin line between the two.
Yes.
All it took is one hit.
Right.
All it took, if they win Game 3, I don't know if BRM could come back from how many
Who
opportunities
knows?
they had that they blew.
Right.
Who
Right.
knows?
But they let them hang around. They didn't do what they did all year, and they weren't the team that they were all year. And you know what? There were some warning signs prior that people were seeing. They didn't love how. Yeah, they beat us 11-5, but it was 6-1 in the last inning. You know, and they exploited us. But people didn't like what they saw in the semifinal series. People didn't like what they saw against Stratton in the second to last week. And then Nanu gave them a sweep in the last regular season. A million rainouts. They didn't play for a month. Nutty wasn't as hot. Barsano wasn't so hot. And they didn't execute when they needed to. And credit
And the
to
flip
BRM.
side, BRM did.
Credit to
BRM woke up when
ton
they
of credit
needed
to
to.
BRM.
That was their
great season.
That was BRM's blueprint.
Yeah.
Was to keep the games tight, and that's how they're going to
Yeah.
win. Low
Wait,
scoring
wait,
and tight.
wait,
No, they're not
wait.
going to win
Yep.
8 to
Wait
7
till
games.
someone does something.
Yeah.
Just wait. Keep it here. Keep it here. Give up one run. Give up one run. Keep it here. From Fireman's West.
What a season.
Great season. Thank you, Norman.
Unbelievable
Can't wait
season.
for the 50th or 51st asterisk next year. But, we'll be back. We're excited.
Thank you,
just
Norman.
really,
Great year.
really
Excited
tremendous.
to be
Norman,
back.
as always, unbelievable. Great World Series winner. And they're a great team. Started 8-0.
Memorable team.
Won 10 games in the regular season. And took care of business in the World Series, and they didn't face a Game 5. They took care of it in 4.
Great job by them.
Great captain, great season, great contribution from 1 through 12.
One of the years like Knights and swimming and White Walkers that you just remember forever. Some World Series are more impressive than others. This one to me is very rememberable. You'll always know 2025 is the Big Red Machine. Congratulations, Elsack, Yedid, all 12 guys on that team. Thank you guys, and let's go. Chalk it up for next year, 2026, the 50th anniversary. Thank you,
Yogi.
guys. Yogi smacks it! It's deep!
Oh my God!
It's over his head! Henry rounding second! He's coming home! Here's the play! Big Red wins the championship! Yogi Kassin! Yogi Kassin! Jake Yogi walks it off! Oh my goodness! A walk-off! Jake Yogi!
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Oh my goodness!
Norman.
July 4th to remember!